What?
Should we go now? Do we go now?
I just wanted everyone to see what you guys were talking about before we started.
Dom, this is your channel. So if you want us to be talking about poop when things go live, that is totally cool. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
We all tried super hard to get the captions to say the right things, and I think it sort of worked a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely, if we played our cards right, most of our captions should have said poop several times when you guys started off, and that is what we are offering up tonight. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday night at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/savingthrowshow, and that means it's time for Wildcards. All of you mysterious strangers out there in chat will be joining us as Nightlinger's traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary winds its way from settlement to settlement in the Weird West and explores all of the dark, shadowy places in between. We will be playing in the Deadlands, the Weird West, most recent edition of the setting, and we will be using the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition rule set. And my name is Jordan Caves-callarman. I am the GM or ringmaster of this virtual table, so thank you all for joining us here. Ordinarily, we play in a studio around an actual physical table with cameras and whatnot, but this is what the pandemic has done to us all. Isolated us into a bunch of tiny boxes on screens, but we're gonna do the best we can to keep things going in the midst of these uncertain times. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you, all of these fantastic players, for being here as well. We have a terrific crew of people here for your eyeballs and earballs. And if any of you bought that very limited peripheral, your nose balls as well, let us introduce all of you all and give them a good waft towards your Sentatron, so they can just really smell the room you're in.
Yep, that's how it works.
Is we need your name. We need your character's name. And I would like to know what your character's greatest strength is. Last week, we talked about what your character's greatest flaw is. This week, I would like to know, what is your character's greatest strength? It can be reflected in an edge or a power or something on your character sheet, or it can be something a bit more, internal. It is whatever you think the answer to that question is. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Take it away, that guy.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm that guy known as Gaurav Gulati, and I'm playing Victor Parrish. You didn't want a log line this time, right? You just wanted the thing?
No, but you know what? I think I was incorrect. Let's get a log line too. We're still getting to know all you fine folks.
Okay. Victor Parrish is the current trick shooter at Nightlinger's Carnival, which means he can shoot really, really well. Like, don't even test him, because you're gonna lose. I mean, if it was like a contest, not like a test. He doesn't do tests well. But so I forgot the question completely.
Your greatest strength.
Oh, okay, great. I know what this is.
Greatest strength.
It's not memory, I'll tell you that. His greatest strength is he is reliable. So whenever Victor is told to do something, and he often is told, whenever he's given a job, he will make sure it is done to the letter, exactly how it was asked to be done, one way or another. And that could sometimes be bad as well. But for the most part, when you tell Victor to do something, he will get it done.
Okay, yeah, I'd say that's a pretty nice strength to have as a person. Thank you very much to old reliable Victor Parrish, portrayed by Gaurav Gulati. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Go. Oh,
I heard Dom first, so take it away.
My name is Dom Zook, and I play Buster Buzz Callahan, the former trick shooter in the Carnival and current Bard Extraordinaire. And his greatest strength is probably his upbeat nature in general. He is someone who tries to find the best in everybody and tries to support as often as possible, like a good bard always does. So, yeah, he is one that he prides himself on being able to be leaned on. So.
Well, I mean, that's great. After all, every now and then we all need somebody to lean on. So thank you very much for that. Buster Callahan, the most upbeat, supportive gentleman round these parts, portrayed by Dom Zook. And then I heard just shortly behind Dom in the race for who was going to answer next, I believe it was Meghan.
Hi, my name is Meghan Caves, and I play Celestina Moldovanu. Celestina is a witch. She is from Romania. She is her whole thing is about going after the people who would go after others, and she just wants to terrify them, just scare the crap out of them. And her greatest strength is that she's a quick learner. She can pick things up really quick once she can get a hold of them or get somebody to teach her something, but that's the harder part.
Okay. But she doesn't have the jack of all trades edge, right?
No, she does not.
Is that one you're thinking of taking in the future to represent that? Or is this a separate kind of like quick learning?
I think it's more in relation to like the things she's put her mind to, not necessarily looking at having her be somebody who just like does not Adelaide in that way.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. So the quick on her feet, Celestina Moldovanu, portrayed by Meghan Caves. And then that leaves us with, last but not least, JP.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Pridgeon, and I am playing Midas Buchanan, who is the mad scientist toy maker who he makes toys that he also uses as his mad science spells and weapons. And he has a animatronic, a little boy that he has created called Christopher. That is his passion project that he is working on all the time. And his best quality is arcane background mad science.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, I would say that the best quality of Midas is that he sort of, if things go wrong, he doesn't get down, doesn't get knocked down by it. He sees it as an opportunity, and he's always moving forward and stuff. And he sort of gets the short end of the stick a lot of the time, just because he just historically has bad luck with stuff, and he tends to see that as ideas to fix things. If there are problems, that's an idea for a cool new invention or a toy or something like that, instead of being down about it.
So he always sort of sees the silver lining of a situation.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I think it's more of a perseverance sort of thing too.
Okay. Doesn't let things get him down because he perseveres. In case anyone's wondering, I am, as always, recording the answers to these questions.
Which probably shouldn't worry us at all, right?
That is.
It never has.
My
it's never come up
down here. Thank you all.
It's never been relevant before.
That's never come up before. Thank you, Midas Buchanan. The perseverant? Is that even a word? I guess we won't know, but he's portrayed by Jordan Pridgeon. So now that we know all of those people and we know who I am, it's time for us to meet each and every one of you individually.
Oh,
so
great.
if each of you could post in chat your name, your character's name, and then a brief logline of your character. No, that's fine. You guys can't. I mean, you're free to if you want. But mysterious strangers out there in chat, we thank you very much for being here and joining us this Friday night. Here at Saving Throw, it is our mission to try and bring as much fantastic high-level TTRPG content to you guys as often as we can with the best stuff that we can muster. And we do all of this. It's a bit of a mixed project, a passion project, and we try and keep things going financially as best we can. But it really, really helps us when we get support from people like you all out there in chat who enjoy what we do and want us to continue to grow and move forward and do bigger and better and more cool, amazing things. So if you are having a good time tonight while you're watching the show, hanging out in the chat with all of the other fantastic people who always come to our Saving Throw shows and just enjoying what we do, please do consider tipping during the show. It means a lot to us. It helps us keep things going and pay rent on the physical space that we are still paying rent for, even though we're doing things virtually. And it helps us grow the channel as well. So if you would like to see, or if you would like the tip link, you can enter !tips in the chat, and just know all cash tips and bit cheers over 100 bits go towards unlocking reward tiers, which can have a sometimes small, sometimes large, sometimes strange and fun effect on the game or campaign as a whole. To see what those are tonight, you can enter !unlocks and follow that link. And no, if we do unlock all of the tiers tonight and get above them, the mystery box always lies in wait. Now, fully, freshly stocked with many, many suggestions from you mysterious strangers in chat. There's a lot of fun stuff we haven't seen yet in here, but that's why they call it the mystery box. Also, if you gift a sub or resub during the show, you can hand out a curious ticket to either myself, the ringmaster, or the players at the table. This functions as a limited reroll and is very, very helpful as far as keeping things challenging on my end or keeping things survivable on their end. And I think it would also be remiss of us to not point out that it is currently September here on Twitch. So if you are a new subscriber at any one of those levels, you get an increasingly high discount, up to 30% off on a sub. So we would love to have you guys here. And as part of September, if we can get 25 new viewers to sub to our channel tonight, we have a special unlock. Dom will once again next week regale us with a freshly learned and never before seen in the world performed by Dom live ever cowboy song. So that's pretty fun. Dom is acting a little bit shocked about this, even though I'm pretty sure I texted him about it.
He'll be learning the classic cowboy song Wonderwall.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Anyway,
After that,
here's a Wonderwall.
Look forward to Jimmy Crack Corn. And we would also like to say a big thank you to Hero Forge. If you guys are not familiar with Hero Forge, they are a fantastic website/service where you can create and visualize in 3 dimensions your very own customizable miniature for your game, whatever world or setting it is set in. They have a quite honestly mind-blowing amount of options that you can customize your miniatures with. I don't know if you guys saw, but a very cool individual posted on Twitter some customized miniatures he had made of the entire Wildcards crew as their characters. I think
Yay, Gento 7!
Really cool. Yes,
it was awesome.
And also, it looked great and in color too, because Hero Forge now has full color minis. If you do not like to paint miniatures like I don't like to paint miniatures, you don't have to worry about it. You can just customize the color on your screen, and when your miniature arrives, it will be colored like so. I'm gesturing to a screen that you all, maybe I'm going the right way, maybe I'm not, who knows? But they are definitely very cool and a great way to while away an afternoon or waste some time at work. So definitely check them out if you are so inclined, folks. And finally, if you are in the midst of this pandemic, feeling like you don't have anyone to game with and you are looking for someone, anyone at all, but hopefully like a cool, good person to GM you and maybe some of your friends through a game, you should check out startplaying.games. It is a website that pairs folks up with GMs who are offering up their services and their games for you to join in and play virtually with GMs from all over the place. We have a couple of folks from here at Saving Throw. I know that Dom and Megan are on the site and available, and there's probably some other recognizable folks on there as well that you might be excited to see. Or if you're a GM and you're lacking a game group and you're wanting to maybe make a little extra money for your time, consider signing up and trying to book your own slots. You might as well, right? You too can be a professional GM. Everyone can be a professional GM, and it's a good feeling. So definitely check out startplaying.games, guys, if that sounds interesting at all to you. I think that's all of our sponsors and bits up top. I wanted to let you all know, because I did not say this last week, but the character of Ange, the steadfast Calliope player, was Gunslinger Andy's NPC that he got to create as a reward for winning our contest to guess what the new campaign of Wildcards was going to be. So I hope you all enjoyed Ange. He is a fixture at Nightlinger's Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary, and I wanted to make sure that we called out his origin this week, just so all of you know, and thank you to Gunslinger Andy for giving me such a fun character to put in the game. All right.
He's still like, every time there was a Patreon NPC or something like added like that, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if just like the first action we did was to all just kill that character? Just
That
like
would be
right
pretty
off
funny.
the bat.
That would be pretty funny. And if that's something that anyone ever wants, just let me know, and I'll make sure that your character gets murdered immediately as soon as they walk onto the screen. Why don't we hand out some bennies to everybody? Yeah, what do we think about that? Let's hand
Sure.
them out.
Boy.
I dig it.
One of you with no special edges or hindrances that modify your bennies in either direction, positive or negative. You will each be starting the game with 3 bennies. There we go. Celestina, 3 for you. Buzz,
Thank you.
3 for you. Victor, 3 for
Right,
you.
with a mug. Oh,
Mike
thank-
TV style, right through. There we go. Midas Buchanan, 3 for you. And of course, as per usual, I will be starting the game as ringmaster with 1 Benny for each of my players. That is 4, count them, 4, starting things off tonight. And it looks like we already have some toasts and some unlocks and some other goodies to hand out. So why don't we go ahead and jump into this, folks? A reminder, as far as toasts are concerned, we are reading toasts out at the beginning of the show, and then we will read some more after we come back from our break. And if there are any remaining, we will read the rest at the end of the show. We're doing that to try and keep things moving through the game, so thank you for your understanding and your patience. All right, first up, Neva and Omar would like us to toast prairie ticks. No, you should be worried about carnivores. Spelled C-A-R-N-E-Y. Set them up and knock them down. Thank you very much, Neva and Omar. Vampire 54 would like us to toast nothing like some weird carnival folks after an overtime day. Set them up and knock them down. I feel you there, Vampire 54. Hang in there. That overtime, they make you work hard for the money. BSB Care 1 would like us to toast. Tonight is a sad night for many of us. Thank you for Wildcards and Saving Throw Show for bringing us some escapism when we need it. For my American friends, register, vote, and keep fighting the good fight. Set them up, and let's knock them down.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Vote.
Very much
Vote.
so, BSB Care. Yes. Vote, and make sure now that you are registered to vote, and make sure that you have a plan to handle voting, since everything is a little bit chaotic right now.
Double check. Even if you think you're registered, double check, because my girlfriend was taken off the registry. She had to go in and call them because for whatever reason she was taken off and not registered. So,
yeah, so double
do
check.
it.
Double check, guys. Even if you vote the same way at the same place all the time, double check.
Yep.
Frithland would like us to toast. People in tiny boxes sounds very carnival, to be honest.
That's right about
Set 'em
that.
up
does.
and knock them down, all you tiny box people. Thank you, Thrithland. ETU Cirquette would like us to toast. You guys are such a great inspiration for us. Wish me luck playtesting a new Deadlands scenario tomorrow.
Hey,
Ooh.
fun.
Set them up,
Fancy.
knock them down, and best of luck, ETU Circuit.
Good luck.
That sounds like fun. I hope you have a good time.
I like Deadlands.
Yeah, we're generally fans around here. Kaga would like us to toast. Who says I'm at work and shouldn't be watching? They know my pager number. 3 cheers for Christopher.
Yeah.
Set him up and knock him down. Thank you very much, Kaga. Don't worry, we will not give out your pager number or let your boss know your pager number.
No.
Lupus Phoenix would like us to toast. To Victor Parrish, the consummate, mildly possessed gunslinging gentleman.
Possessed.
Set him up and knock him down. I don't know what Lupus Phoenix knows that the rest of us don't know.
Yeah. Tell me about
Or
it.
I don't know what Lupus Phoenix knows that the rest of you all don't know. It's one of those. Thank you very much, Lupus Phoenix, for your toast.
You.
Bless you in advance. And it also looks like we have some curious tickets to hand out here at the table.
Oh,
A reminder,
boy.
this is what you can hand out to either the players or to me in exchange for a sub to the channel. Siamath would like to give 1 curious ticket to the players.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Neva and Omar would like to give 4 curious tickets to the players.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Starting off
Mace
right.
134 would like to give 4 curious tickets to the players.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Lady
9.
Imago would like to give a curious ticket to the players.
Too
Thank
many.
you.
We have 10 more than him.
Initiative Coffee Company would like to give a curious ticket to me, the Ringmaster. Thank you
Hey.
very much.
Nice to
Keep
see
it
you.
fair.
Noisily Weeping Taco, in the interest of fairness, would like to give 1 curious ticket to me, the Ringmaster, and 1 curious ticket to the players.
Ah,
All right.
very,
Thank you.
very
Okay.
even.
Ghost Hack 159, the Jersey Driver, Sir Sewell 73, Krieg Tanzer, OFS Chem, and Stump-O-Matic would each like to give 1 curious ticket to the players.
Yay!
All of them coming
Right
in
choice.
player style.
Thank you.
And it looks like we have unlocked the first 2 reward tiers for the evening already.
Wow.
So the first one is Tip Your Entertainers. And that, of course, means the mysterious strangers out there in chat know that Carnival members do work on tips and need to make money to survive and have seen fit to gift you all with an additional Benny each. So that's 1 for Celestina, 1 for Buster, 1 for Victor, 1 for Midas, and of course, 1 for the Ringmaster as well. Thank you all very much, mysterious strangers. And also, we have unlocked a draw.
Draw.
Instead of loud, it was intense this time.
Well, I feel like if I yell it too loud, the microphone shuts off.
That's a fair point. And that has happened before. Celestina, because you have such great knowledge of how draws work, who do you think won the draw?
Me?
Nope, it's Buster! Buster Callahan!
Yay.
You are tonight's draw winner. You can draw 1 card from the official Savage Worlds adventure deck, largely intact, because I want to see what you guys can do with this. Would you like to tell me when to stop riffling
Yes.
through it? Okay.
Yes.
I'm now riffling.
Stop.
I don't know. Okay.
Riffle,
You got-
riffle.
Extra effort. Play to add plus 1d6 to any trait roll. This roll may ace. Oh, there it was for a moment. There it is. Extra effort.
Wow.
So essentially, you can add a d6 to any trait roll tonight. It can ace, and it doesn't have to be one of your rolls. It can be the roll of a posse member other than you, if you
It's
so
like a
choose.
clean, useful, simple action card. I'm a fan.
Very clean, very useful, very simple. All right, I think that is everything up top here, folks. So at this point, I would like to let you all know that though we do our best to keep things classy here on Wildcards, it is a horror show that takes place in a very dark and grim, weird West. So, Wildcards is rated R/TVMA for violence, language, and dark and disturbing horror content of many different stripes and blends. You have been warned. But if you see fit to join us, we would still love to have you. Folks, let's saddle up. Last time on Wildcards, the Carnival train was traveling further into Kansas, taking a shortcut that Nightlinger insisted would shave plenty of time off their travel, and wound up at an abandoned way station called Traveler's Rest. There, they found a well, finally, as a respite from the beating, ceaseless heat. However, while the posse members were helping the Calliope player Ange pull his cart off of the road, the rest of the carnival helped themselves to all the well water they could drink, and that proved to be a mistake. It seemed something in the well water had an enervating effect to it and rendered most of the carnival completely asleep or out of energy, and also seemed to have a little bit of an addictive quality as well. So while the posse and Ange took their time trying to look around and figure out what was going on here, night fell, and it was at that point they realized what the trap was. Undead creatures of some kind came up out of the ground and attempted to drag away their still living colleagues. However, our performers were brave and our performers were true, and they were able to drive off the menace and destroy the creatures. Not only that, but track them back to their lair where they discovered underground some still living survivors from days prior who had also visited Traveler's Rest, who were slowly over time being eaten alive.
Just days? Oh, God.
As an act of mercy, the performers put them out of their misery before continuing on further into the Weird West. And that is where we left off last time. But this time, folks, the carnival has come to town, and tonight the carnival is in full swing. All of the strange electric lights are strung up on their posts, lending a somewhat mysterious, shadowy pallor to the events below, but it is all merriment and mysteriousness tonight at Nightlinger's Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary in the Kansas town of Nouveau, Départ. They have set up their organization, and it seems like folks are in a spending mood. The carnival is jumping tonight. And where, pray tell, would we find all of our performers and backstage helpers in the midst of a full-on carnival evening?
Well, Celestina probably goes from fortune telling to the show, back to fortune telling on busy nights.
Okay. So
Probably a bit of cycle like that.
So you start off telling fortunes, you go do the show as your Lady of Ravens, and then come back and continue reading your fortunes?
Yes, and then she also tries to hang out with the animals as much as possible because all these people are just ridiculous. She judges everyone a lot.
There are a lot of people. This town is not particularly large. It's a good average-sized western town with one main street, kind of like a less threatening version of Purity that you left not too far behind days prior. So Celestina, you're either reading fortunes or you are doing your show. What are the rest of you doing on Carnival Eves?
So Midas works when the carnival's in full swing. He tends to work around the like games of skill and chance area because there's a booth there where you can like get prizes and stuff. But I think besides just manning the prize booth, a lot of those, even though some of them are like mechanical and have things that are semi-automated about it, he'll like have to run behind some of them and like crank cranks to like make things go and reset stuff. So he's just kind of running back and forth, often with his tools and stuff, and just being, and he like Midas is never more alive than when all of this stuff is going on. He loves the like children going and throwing stuff and shooting at little ducks and all that sort of thing. And then he goes...
Who doesn't love shooting at ducks?
Yeah, you know, little wooden ducks.
Oh, wooden. Okay.
And then, yeah. And then he comes back periodically to the prize area to give out little inventions and doodads, some of which are more... mad science-y than other. A lot of the stuff he gives out are just, you know, like Jacob's ladders or little wooden dolls and things like that. But he also has his like smaller, toned-down Buchanan balls that have become kind of a hit recently with the kids.
Oh yeah, Buchanan balls are quite the craze. All right, so Midas is manning the prize booth, which also seems to be a little bit of an animatronic show from time to time. Might I ask, Midas, where does Christopher go while you are manning the booth? Does he wait in the wagon?
No, Christopher usually...
I didn't think he did.
No. I
Here's
think,
everyone.
So, Christopher either... I think there's two possibilities for Christopher. Sometimes they set him up to have like a little booth where it'll be like, meet the amazing animatronic boy, and he'll just be like, hi, I'm Christopher. Will you be my friend? And he'll do little dances for people.
No matter what they say in response.
It'll be like, tell him to dance. And if people tell him to dance, he'll go, I'm Christopher, and do a dance. And I've tried to get him to like say a couple different new phrases and stuff. So every now and then what he does is changes. But other nights when he's not like on display there, because I assume we kind of mix up exactly what we half out every
I mean,
time.
you got to keep things interesting for yourselves, if for no one else.
Other nights, he will sit on the register at the prize area, just being like, "Yay,
Oh,
Christopher!
Cool. The whole time, huh? Fun.
Come get a prize." I've taught him to say, "Come get a prize."
Okay. All right. That sounds welcoming. What about the rest of you folks? What are you typically doing on an average carnival night?
I am trying to direct people into the tents. So I am doing the ballyhoo and walking around with my guitar and just trying to hype up what's going on in the various tents. And like when Celestina is ready to do her performance, then I will follow people into that tent and I will play the sort of spookier music a little bit and try and set the mood for I've learned a couple of Romanian folk songs on the guitar so that it has that certain kind of air that fits with everything, but yeah, he's just sort of going around and whatever mood is trying to be set, he's trying to amplify that mood and just make people feel really comfortable and adventurous so that they go and check out all the things that are big money takers.
So like fun, bright music around the rides and the games, kind of like moody, mysterious music over in the shadowy tent area where Celestina tells fortunes and the Den of Delights waits to entice any wandering eyes. That kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we've got our wandering music man and overall hype master, Buster Callahan, walking around. And then Victor, what is your deal on an average carnival night?
I think Victor would be usually behind the scenes most of the time. He doesn't want to be seen out in the crowds because that would ruin the mystique of this character that he's playing. So I don't know how many shows they have of his and everybody else's that night, but he would either be behind the scenes, but sometimes he does get bored waiting for another show to start. So he'll often just put on some clothing to disguise himself and just kind of work his way into the crowd and maybe get drunk, maybe go visit Celestina, or maybe even mess with Midas if he can go over there and win some prizes before he figures out who's actually doing the shooting at the shoot a duck thing. But yeah, most of the time he's behind the scenes, I think. Maybe just talking with the stagehands and whoever else is back there.
Okay. And would you say, Victor, that do you think it's fair that maybe sometimes after the shows or in between things when you get your plain clothes on and go mingle with the rubes, are you doing any sort of like security detail at that point as well, potentially? Like wandering through and looking for any trouble that might be popping up before it gets too out of hand?
Yeah, absolutely. I think whenever they come to a town, he's probably given a notice of like, this town's pretty easy. You don't have to worry about this one, or probably keep an eye on people on this one. So he will take that advice and do whatever he can to protect not only the workers of the carnival, but the people visiting as well. So if he sees a situation about to happen, he will intercede as best he can.
Okay. All right. So just wandering around and making things happen as best you can. So as the carnival is going on and you all are you do your big show, you all kind of wander off to your various pursuits. You, Midas, are over at your prize cart, and there is a crowd of children around trying to clamor for your attention and indicate the thing that they want. Oh, I want one of those. Oh, can I get a yo-yo with my how many tickets is a yo-yo? Oh no, I want one of those. I want a Buchanan ball. I want 3 Buchanan balls.
Midas, to handle all of them, has a little hand puppet that he's made that's just like each of his fingers kind of does one of the arms on it, and he'll be like, "Oh, a Buchanan ball for you and one for you," and he just kind of like interacts through that with the kids as he like grabs it and hands it to them.
It's weird. Ever since you created this puppet just to kind of get the kids' attention and calm them down, whenever you bring it out, Christopher does a kind of a strange thing. Christopher, just sitting on the cash register, just turns his head slowly over to you and stares at you, unblinking, as you use the puppet to go through the line of children. And every now and then, though it's hard to hear over the din, you feel like you hear him say, "I'm Christopher."
Jesus.
And as this is happening tonight, you see a lovely young lady, short and somewhat slight, with very thick and what is the word I'm looking for? Shortly cut, like a pixie-style hair almost, blonde hair, come wandering up. She's wearing a duster and appears to have just hugely wide shoulders underneath it, but she is all smiles in her strange-looking white glasses as she comes up to the booth, and she's laughing at the children who are all running away with their prizes, and turns back to you and says, "Wow, this sure looks like you're having a lot of fun."
Well, that's what we do here at Nightlinger's Carnival. Can I help you?
And as you're talking to her, Christopher swivels his head back to her and goes, "I'm Christopher!" And she turns and looks at him and goes, "Oh my goodness! It moves? It talks?"
Yes. It can respond to things that you're saying too. It's an intuitive system, actually. This is Christopher. Christopher, do a dance for the kind lady.
Oh no, there's no way. There's no way. And as you say that, Christopher just kind of whirs and clicks himself up to a standing position on the counter, and from within him comes the tinny music playing, and Christopher starts doing his dance. That is so adorable! Oh my gosh! That is so cute! Oh, look at the little guy. Well, what'd you say his name was?
I call him Christopher.
Christopher,
Yes.
It is a pleasure to meet you. And she holds out her hand to Christopher. Is this a thing Christopher does or knows or can do?
I think there's at least a chance he would be able to, but I don't know if this is the sort of thing that I have, like, successfully programmed or, like, built into him. I don't program Christopher. I developed Christopher through a series of, like, reward things. Like, I give him those Christopher treats when he does things correctly.
Which we established are just small nuggets of ghost rock.
Yes.
Okay, so he is a machine that you program via positive reinforcement?
Yes.
Wow, the world is a fantastic place. So she holds her hand out to him, and he just kind of clicks his mechanical eyes and looks down at her hand, and then pulls his hand up and looks at it, and then just sort of like slaps it down on top of her hand and then back up. "I'm Christopher!"
Well.
Oh, well, he's a spirited one.
I'm still working out the exact system that Christopher operates under, but all of these interactions are good. They are helping him get a better just grip on exactly how he should be acting.
Well, I must say, I'm impressed. This is beyond most things I have seen, and it seems like there's a lot of mechanical wonders here. Are you yourself, sir, the one who's responsible for all of them?
Oh, well, I wish I could say that I built all of them, but no, I help maintain them, and I work on building them, but the man you are looking for is Eustace. What's his last name?
T. Ellington.
Yeah, Eustace T. Ellington. He's in charge of the mechanics.
Oh, well, I bet he is, but he probably doesn't have a Christopher now, does he? No, he doesn't.
No,
wow.
Christopher is mine.
You have a real way with children.
Yes, well, they have so much joy in them, and I feel like there's not enough of that out here in the West sometimes, and I like to bring more if I can.
Bring more, what, children? With you?
Joy. And it's just easiest to get that out of children, I guess.
Oh, joy, of course. Are there any children who are part of the carnival, or is this just the visiting kids?
Oh, well, I assume I don't know of any children who work with the carnival, do I?
While it is not a hard and fast rule, because Nightlinger likes to keep rules to a minimum, it is not something he prefers to do. He does not like to have children as part of the carnival. And in fact, there are histories of people, getting in the family way and kind of using that as a way to exit their employment with the carnival, to settle down, and Nightlinger encourages it. He doesn't want to have children around all the time.
Well, if you're asking about people who have run off to join the carnival per se, we don't have any children hangers-on at the moment. I don't believe Nightlinger would employ children. I don't know if it's a rule, but it doesn't seem like his style.
You seem like a real bright individual. You probably are familiar with Dr. Hellstrom's fabulous automatons.
Yes, I mean, of course, I myself studied with Smith and Robards in their factories, but we...
Oh, did you really?
We do know of Hellstrom and his work, of course, everyone does.
Well, tell me, I hear rumors, at least that those little spidery ones, I hear that they're not entirely mechanical. There are whispers that there might be something else, something animal inside there. Have you heard anything about that?
Is this something Midas would know anything about?
This is like a rumor that like kooks make up. Like Dr. Hellstrom is a genius mechanical engineer. So you've heard stuff like this, and probably most people would dismiss it.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, when developments get to the point where they are moving in a naturalistic system, it's only natural for people to believe that there must be some natural element that's been put into the creations. But I'm sure Hellstrom, he is one of the greatest minds of the generation, and I believe he's just made machines that emulate such actions on their own.
That could be. It just makes you wonder sometimes what's inside of these things. Like what's inside of Christopher?
Well, I can assure you, every piece that is inside of Christopher, I put there myself, and it is all, metal, ghost steel to an extent. There are clockwork pieces in there. In fact, the majority of Christopher's workings are clockwork with a couple of...
No kids in there, though, right?
No. Of course not.
Of course not.
I'm not a monster.
Of course. No, you don't seem the type. Well, I won't keep you. It looks like I see another passel of youngins coming up, probably wanting to turn in their ill-gotten gains for more ill-gotten goods, so...
Yes. Well, they can't get enough of these. And he takes, pulls out, and he grabs a little doll, like a little wooden figurine thing that kind of has it looks a little bit like one of these guys.
Okay.
And he goes, oh, well, for all your interest in Christopher, have this one on the house.
Oh, well, thank you kindly. And she beams in a way that just sort of lights up her face, and she reaches out and takes it from you, her eyes magnified somewhat by the lenses of her glasses. Oh, this is just adorable. You've just made my evening.
Well, we aim to please. If you want anything else, go try some of the games of skill and chance.
Well, perhaps I will. You have a good evening now.
You as well, madam.
And she walks off. Meanwhile, Celestina, you are over reading fortunes in your tent to a very intense-looking young woman who has come to you seeking advice on a new love. And you're just finishing up the reading with your final thoughts on the path ahead for her.
So I'd say maybe don't do it in this particular town because it will lead to your death.
Don't
Find love.
Find love
Not
in this town.
Not in this town. You should move somewhere else, maybe. Do that. Then you'll probably survive.
But I moved from somewhere else to here.
Oh. that happens sometimes.
Okay.
Such a shame.
Well, thank you very much. How much was it?
What's a good amount of money for this time
Well,
period?
thinking about $1 being roughly equivalent to $27 modern day.
$1.
A dollar? A dollar?
I'm sharing your future.
I didn't think it would be so much. I don't know that I have $1 on me.
Why you come to a carnival such as this without money?
Well, I did have money, but I spent it trying to have a nice time with Jack, who apparently will lead to my death.
Well, does Jack have $1?
I don't think he has any money. He's currently between jobs. And you hear from outside a kind of rich, sonorous voice as a man pokes his head into the tent. He's got black hair, perfectly coiffed and jet black as night, with sparkling brown eyes and a equally gleaming smile. And he's wearing an impeccably crisp black duster as he pokes his head and he says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I just happened to be passing by. But it sounds like this young lady has had quite enough bad news for the night, so why don't I just cover her debt and we'll say the rest is up to her.
Oh.
And he pulls out of his coin out of his pocket a dollar coin and just places it on your fortune reading table.
Well, I suppose it's your lucky day, darling.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. And he just smiles as he kind of ducks into the tent, standing up to a pretty impressive height, and says, "Don't even worry about it. That's on the house tonight." And she just kind of just gets a little bit flustered around him and sort of collects her bag and gets up and leaves as the man watches her go and then sort of takes a look around your tent. What is in your fortune-telling tent when you are telling fortunes, Celestina?
The ravens, for one, because I like
them?
to. Maybe not all of them, but Vika's definitely there, and probably like, I don't know, a few of the other ones as well. Just to, add to the atmosphere and hopefully creep people out a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's definitely working. It's a claustrophobic, dark, hot tent filled with birds.
Yes.
And there is
and candles.
Can we say actually that they just sort of like sit on the tent supports up above people and just a murder of ravens just nested above their heads?
It's like a really dark tiki room.
Yeah. It's a tiki room, but everything is a scary bird. And Vika just has a perch right next to your table, the spot of honor where your very world-worn raven sits. He takes a look around and looks up at the birds. Oh, this is charming.
Oh, that's not usually what people say.
Doesn't that ever end up getting a little unpleasant for your clientele?
Only on the people who are rude to me.
Oh, you got him that well trained, huh?
Well, what do I look like?
He laughs, and it just comes easily to his lips. Well, you look like someone who knows what they're doing when it comes to these birds. I have to admit, I saw your show earlier. It was quite a spectacle. I'd say it did live up to the name, the showcase of spectacle. It was that.
So I impressed you then. Is that why you're here?
Oh, am I that obvious?
Oh, well, I can always entertain a fan, especially one such as you.
Well, I appreciate it, but no, I'm here for business. I would like to get my fortune read.
Oh, well, do you have enough money to pay for 2 whole fortunes this evening?
You know what? It's gonna be stretching me a bit thin, miss, but I think that I think I could make it. You know what? I can make it. And he pulls another $1 coin out of his pocket and just sort of dances it between his fingers and lays it down on the table in front of you. There we go. Payment up front.
Looks like you've been doing a bit of work for the carnival yourself.
Oh, me? No, I ain't the performing type. No, I just stick to what I know, and I let the performers and the showmen and women, such as yourself, keep to that.
Well, seeing as you have already paid, what is it that you hope to discover this evening?
Well, as I said, I did see your show, and it was magical. It truly was.
Well,
I guess my question is there such a thing as actual magic in the world? And if so, can it be found here at this here carnival?
Can I, I don't know, get a read on whether or not this guy just seems like an actually happy-go-lucky dude, or he's talking about something more?
How would you like to do that?
I don't know. I just think all the things that he's talking about, she would kind of be like, okay, is this guy here for the carnival, or is he here for the people behind the carnival?
Why don't you give me a notice roll?
Okay. Can I have a curious ticket? I got
can
a 2.
Indeed. Was it not a good roll?
No, it was a 2. Ooh, now I aced it.
That's much better.
I got a 10.
You got a 10. All right, would you like to keep it?
Yeah.
This will be opposed.
Oh.
10? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. You know what? I'll spend one of my curious tickets, leaving me only one remaining. You got a 5. So you kind of shuffle your cards and you give him kind of the once over, the side eye as you're doing that. He is all smiles and all charm. And even though you yourself, Celestina, are no neophyte in this world, it almost fooled you. But it does appear that, especially when he asked that question, that he might have some deeper motives for what he's asking. So how does this work? Do you deal the cards, or do I draw the cards, or I don't know. I've never done one of these before.
Oh, well, there are lots of ways for it to work. But I think for this go, the particular question you're asking, why don't you just hold it in your mind, and then you can take the top card and flip it right over.
Hold the question in my mind. Okay, well, I just, all right, I don't want to mess it up. So he makes a big show of screwing up his face in concentration and puts his fingers to his temples and then reaches out and cracks an eye and takes a card. It's all very charming and you know, it's down pat, but you're already a little bit on edge, so it's not working quite as well for you, Celestina. And he flips the card over. I don't know this one. What is that one?
Well, it's world is what it is, which is pretty interesting if I can figure out what it actually means.
Oh, the world. Oh yes, yeah. That's assured success, if memory serves.
Oh,
so let's
so
see. Now, what would that indicate?
You already know. Well, it could indicate that you have answered your own question, that magic does exist, but in what way does it exist? Does it just exist in your mind? Is it something that you believe in? Or is it real in a different way?
That is an interesting way of phrasing it. And he slides the card back into the deck, and as it does, his fingers just brush against yours on top of the deck, Celestina. He says, but I think I might be a mite more interested in your answer to the question, miss.
My answer? What do you mean?
Well, what do you think? What's your opinion on the matter?
I think...
Does magic exist in this world? And if so, is it to be found here in this carnival?
Well, I think that if magic does exist in this world, that it is probably quite dangerous, and if you were to go searching for it, you would want to be quite prepared for potentially finding it.
Oh. Wow. Well, that is a suitably dramatic answer. I must say, you are a consummate performer. You know, I think I got the answer I needed from just the one card. Why don't you just keep the dollar, and we'll say my fortune's read, my questions answered, and my curiosity has been satisfied.
Right, then what is next for you? Are you going to go to some of the other attractions here at the carnival?
Why are you asking? Are you offering to join me, miss?
Oh, well, that would be a bit more expensive. It's, I have other work to do here. But no, I was just curious about now that you have this information about magic, what is next?
Oh, well, next, I reckon I'm gonna get one of those floating clouds of the spun candy sugar that I've been seeing walking around with. Those look like quite a treat. Never eaten something that floated before.
Oh, yes, it's quite interesting. Just make sure you're quite grounded before you do. You don't want to float away.
Very well put. Well said. Well, miss, I will leave you to your readings of fortunes, and thank you very much for taking the time to sit a spell with me.
Oh, yes, of course. Don't go far.
Oh, I intend to enjoy myself, so I'm sure we'll be seeing more of each other.
Oh, good.
And he
Can't wait.
nods to you and turns and walks out of your tent.
Vika, follow.
Vika kind of ruffles herself on her stand and flaps her wings a bit just to wear off her achy bones, and then flies out of the flap of your tent and out into the night. Buster and Victor, as you all are doing your rounds around the carnival, you end up meeting up with one another. Buster, as you're wandering around playing the guitar for passersby and chatting them up and making sure that they've seen all the attractions that there are to see. And Victor, you pretty much had your fill with the hands for tonight. They got into the drink a little bit, and sometimes when they do, they just start telling the same old tired jokes over and over again, and it was giving you a headache. So you decided to get out and stretch your legs, and you both run into each other over by the Vibromatatron.
Hey, Victor, how's it going?
Buzz, going fine.
You,
How's it going with you?
Good. This town's a little honeypot, I think. What's your, did you already do your show?
Yeah, had an early one tonight.
How'd it go?
Well,
Did you work on that new move, the kind of the spin thing that we were talking about?
Yeah, I thought it'd be better if I just shot the thing I was aiming at and didn't go for the extra twirl. I'll try it next time, Buzz. I promise I'll give it a shot. But, I just thought they came here to see the shooting, so I got that done.
Right. I mean, it's a show, so, you could do more than the shooting because you got that part down. I mean, you are one of the best I've ever seen, but the showbiz part.
It is pretty incredible. When Victor's part in the show comes up, all of the crowd, when he steps out in his mask with his gun drawn, they all go, "Oh!" And then when he starts shooting, and someone throws something up in the air and he just shoots it immediately, and someone throws something else in the air and he shoots it immediately. Eventually those "ohs" turn into "oh." But people still seem to enjoy it. Who doesn't like loud noises and explosions?
I'm just taking like a more dramatic pause, like wait for the clay pigeon to kind of like almost hit the ground before you shoot it. Like give him some suspense.
Right. Yeah, it's just where I come from. It's better to just shoot when you see them instead of waiting for dramatic pauses. Because otherwise they're gonna shoot you first.
Yeah, well, clay pigeons. Great thing about them, do not shoot back.
Buzz. Yeah, I know clay pigeons ain't shooting me back, but it's in my blood, all right?
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, you just got to compartmentalize and just sort of set things aside, and then, it's fun. It's fun once you get the hang of it, really.
Will both of you give me a notice roll, please, as you're standing here talking about the finer points of gun spinning and performance?
5.
which is
I got a
successful.
3.
You need a 4 in Savage Worlds to succeed. Victor, your head is still pounding a little bit, and this is not what you were hoping to hear from Buzz. You just wanted to have a quiet evening away from it all tonight. So you are a bit distracted and trying not to look at whatever it is that Buster is trying to get you to look at. But Buster, as you are standing there talking to Victor, your eyes scan across the crowd as they often do, trying to see if there's anyone that is in need of some cheering up or some calming down. And as you scan the carnival, you notice over at the far end of the field that you have set up in, over where Nightlinger's dark wagon is set up with the flickering candlelight all over it, advertising that his tour of his cabinet of curiosities is currently active. You see a woman standing with her back turned and just staring at the wagon. She is wearing a bright red cowboy hat, and she has flaming red hair beneath to match in a long braid that goes most of the way down her back. She is wearing a very faded and dusty duster over her shoulders. And what did you get? You got a 5?
Yeah.
And that is what you see. She is just standing as the crowd mills about, not moving whatsoever, just squared up and looking at Nightlinger's wagon.
Victor, you see that lady over there looking at Nightlinger's curiosities?
Yeah.
Well, I think we might encourage her to take a look at him a little bit closer, if you know what I mean.
All right. Lead on.
And I will walk over there and start strumming a few bars of some awesome song.
Now that you both are closer,
yeah.
and because you both have a history as showmen here at the carnival, can you each give me an additional notice roll, but this time at a +1?
Sure. Great. It's a 4.
A 4? Okay.
I got a 9.
A 9. Okay, a success with the raise. Buster, your eyes are on the woman's face as you come over and start playing, trying to get a read for what sort of song is going to be just the perfect one to make her evening go swimmingly. Victor, as you're walking over, something about her body language just kind of sticks in your head. She's very squared up to the cabin, or to the wagon. And you give her the once over, and you notice the telltale bulge at each of her hips under the duster of sidearms. So, Buster, you start up your song as you approach.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
it's an awesome song.
Yeah,
You are playing
it's great.
the best one. It's your
Yeah.
favorite, and the one that always works.
Yeah. And then I kind of come up behind her, and maybe on either side of her, we kind of flank her a little bit, and I just go like, well, you look like a lady who's interested in something.
Do I?
Well, I just kind of clocked you looking at the wonderful Nightlinger's cabinet of curiosities, and I can tell you it is quite a sight to behold.
That what this is.
It is, yes.
She has not broken eye contact with the wagon the entire time. She's not even sparing you a glance.
I kind of give a look to Victor, like, help me out here. And
I'm gonna look back at Buzz and point towards, like, have my eyes look towards her waist, and then kind of pat my gun at the same time.
So you, have you been in yet?
Have I been in what?
The, yeah.
No. Can't say as I have.
Oh, well, you should check it out. It is the things that he has in here and has collected. I mean, there's a mummy in there. So I hear. It says people see different things sometimes. He brings out different things at different times, and it's always amazing. Let me tell you. But you should just check it out and have yourself a gander. Why not?
turns to look at you as you're saying this, Buster, and she just kind of looks you over impassively. And as you finish, she says, "That's quite a pitch. You should consider getting a job here."
Well, you have found me out. I am Buster Callahan, but around here these folks call me Buzz, so please call me Buzz as well.
Have it your way. She turns and looks at you too, Victor, and just sort of spares you a glance, and then stops and looks back and says, "Ain't you in the show?"
He's just gonna nod, yes.
Yeah, I thought it's you. You're the one who does all them fancy gun tricks, yeah?
That's right.
Pretty good with that piece.
That's right.
Ever used it against more than bottles or clay pigeons?
Who wants to know?
Oh, just an interested carnival attendee. Didn't mean no offense. She says, clearly not caring about whether or not offense was taken.
It's a good time we have here, isn't it? Isn't it? We just have good times all the time here at Nightlinger's Carnival.
Listen,
Of
lady,
the
you got a
extraordinary.
badge to go with all that iron under your duster there?
Is that a necessity? I ain't see your badge.
My gun is my badge. I work here.
Oh, well then maybe I should get myself a job here as well. I could go around appointing myself sheriff of the carnival.
We ain't hiring.
Well, that's too bad. Seems like your boss is quite a fellow to work for.
Yep. And Buster will kind of like look out like, oh, okay.
Buster, as you are looking around, you look back at the Vibromatotron where you and Victor were just standing, and you see the telltale signs of the machine starting to rattle about the sides. You notice it first in the fencing that's set up to keep people contained in the skating area of the Vibromatotron. Now this is a mechanical marvel, a flat metallic floor that vibrates at such a high oscillating frequency that it produces a curtain of air, a cushion of air even, that you can walk out on and just skate around without a care in the world. That's when it's working on its best days. From time to time, the oscillation does get off and lead to a somewhat unpleasant ride, and it seems like it is about to do that now, Buster, although as you watch, as it starts to shake and vibrate, a nut or a bolt or something else metallic and very important looking flies off of the corner support and shoots down into the ground, embedding itself in the dirt with a poof of dust. And you hear people starting to cry out and scream as they start getting flung and moved about inside the Vibromatotron. And then, as you watch, a little girl who was jumping up and down in the middle of it starts to get shoved higher and higher up into the air by the uneven currents of energy that the Vibromatotron is sending out. And as people start to scream and run off of it, the little girl seems trapped by being thrown all over the place, and no one is coming to her aid. Off in the distance, you hear Eustace Ellington shouting, "Hold on, where is his mustache? It's a very important part." I see! My chair has run out of energy, and someone must turn off the Vibromatotron! It's going to overheat!
Ah, shit. I'll sling the... Oh.
Dramatic task.
Whoa!
Okay, so as that is happening, folks, everyone starts to scream around the Vibromatotron and look around, going, "Can't somebody do something?" And wherever you are in the carnival, whenever the Vibromatotron starts to malfunction, you can hear it. So Celestina and Midas, you hear the screams, you hear the jangling of the device. Midas, you might even hear Eustace T. Ellington shout out desperately for someone to help. So I will say that you all can be a part of this dramatic task as well. You have 3 rounds to get lucky 13 successes to try and save this hapless young lady from an untimely end at the Vibromatotron's mechanical hands. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Celestina Moldavanu,
Yes.
an 8 of diamonds.
Okay.
Midas Buchanan, a 2 of hearts.
All right, not a
Victor
club.
Parrish, a 9 of hearts. And Buster Callahan, a 7 of diamonds. No clubs dealt this first round, so no penalties and no immediate danger of things taking the worst possible turn. So, first up is going to be Victor. Victor, you are right over there by the thing as this is happening.
Okay.
Let's turn down the carnival and turn up that drama.
Do you have a screaming carnival soundtrack to go with this?
No, I just have like some action-y music that goes
Oh,
over the
okay.
carnival sound.
I was gonna say that's very specific.
I hope that's okay.
No, totally fine. I think first I'm gonna turn to the woman we were talking to, and just say, "I got my eye on you, Red," and then just turn and start walking towards the Vibratron.
Looks like you should keep your eye on your business, friend. Okay. So, what do you want to do to try and assist this situation? You're no mechanical genius, Victor.
No, absolutely not. But he
you know
does
what they
know.
say?
What do they say?
When you see something, do something.
When you see something, do something. Yes, I've heard that many times. So what he's going to do is attempt to turn it off. Is there a lever that I could shoot from my position to turn it off?
There is a lever that does operate the Vibromatatron, or at least operates the primary functions of the Vibromatatron. It is a surprisingly complex device for such a simple execution. There is the primary power lever within immediate sight. You could try and shoot that and knock it and cut off power to the device.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Okay, all right, so give me a shooting roll, Victor.
Okie dokie.
And also, at this point, while you get ready to do that, Zombie Wolf 72 would like to give a curious ticket to the players.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay!
Well, I double aced it. That's a good start.
Ooh.
That's a great start.
Oh, then I got crappy after that. It's just a 9, so 2 successes.
A 9. Okay, that is 2
So good.
successes, or a success with a raise. So, Victor, you sight the main power switch and point your gun, line up down the barrel, and squeeze off a shot. And your bullet ricochets off of the lever at just the right angle to shove it over to the side before clanging off into the night sky, hopefully out of sight and out of mind and never going to come back down due to an unlucky mystery box card. And the lever does indeed shut off, but as it does, the machine starts to vibrate and clank even louder, and it appears that it starts to spark and smoke as well. It looks like some sort of internal malfunction is in some sort of cyclical mode that is keeping it going, and you see the panels of the floor of the Vibromatatron just raising up with the force that is pushing up from around, and the little girl starts to get buffeted back and forth as though she's stuck in a cyclone of energy. You definitely cut off some of the power, Victor, but it's not going to be that easy. Next up, Celestina.
I want to run over. Can I get to Eustace?
Eustace in his chair? Yeah. You're running over from the tents, and he's kind of stuck over on the midway.
Yeah, I want to get over there and ask him if it's okay if I help move him over there so he can help, since his chair has run out of energy right now.
Don't worry about me, just get to the girl. I can turn it off in a moment. I'll crawl if I must, but we must minimize any loss of life.
All right, okay. You stay here then. I'll go over there.
You confounded chair, go forward, I say, forward! All right.
I will then. I don't know. I'm probably too far to get all the way there this round, right? Or this.
Well, it depends on what you want to do. What do you want to do to try and help the situation, Celestina?
I will try to clear people away who aren't currently on the ride so that it's easier to get through.
Just get some space cleared so everybody can do their work. All right, how do you want to clear that space?
I could.
There's the screams.
There's the screams.
They kind of come. That's the little girl being circled around. You have taunt?
It's a big vibro.
I'll just use persuasion. I'll just go over and go. If the rest of you don't want to die as well, then you should get away. Get away so we can get closer. Okay?
Okay. All right. Give me your persuade roll. Persuasion roll.
Persuasion.
Sorry, Shane.
Can I have a curious ticket?
A curious ticket, yes. one curious ticket.
They listen to her next to this rumbly machine, and she's like, and they're like, "No, we don't want to.
Oh, we want to die.
We
Five.
feel like this."
What'd you get?
5.
5. A 5 is a success. So Celestina, even though you are somewhat low key and just calm and collected while this chaos is happening, the people that are near you do kind of look at you and think, I don't want to die, and they start clearing the space around the vibromatron. You hear
Smart
people get out, get back, give them space. All right, Buster, you're up next.
Okay, I'm going to sling my guitar over my back, and I'm going to run to the vibromatron, and I am going to. It's spinning. Is there like an emergency brake or something that can be engaged on it?
Yes, and that is the lever that Victor managed to shoot to turn it off. However, looking at that lever, it does not appear to be all the way in the off position.
Okay, then I will run over and try and shove it fully into the off position.
Okay, so slinging your guitar over your back, you turn and run away from the lady in the red hat and head right for the lever, leaping out to just shove it with your body weight all the way to the off position. That sounds like an athletics roll to me, Buster.
Yeah.
Unless you think otherwise.
No, it sounds pretty athleticsy to me.
Hit us with it.
Hit us with your athletics.
That's a 4.
That's a 4, which is a success. Standing with it?
Yes.
All right, 1 success. Buster, you run over to the vibromatron and just body slam the lever, shoving it forward all the way into the off position, which does stop the sparks that are flying off of the machine. However, whatever cycle the machine is stuck in now continues to intensify, and as you watch, the panels keep shaking up and down as the movement gets even more dramatic and starts to become even more cyclical. Midas, you're up next.
Midas immediately grabs down to his side to a box of tools that he has sitting in his booth there that are his weird science tools.
Of course.
His new science tools, and just yells, "Christopher, follow!" and just sprints towards the machine.
Okay, so as you sprint towards the machine and shout, "Christopher, follow," you hear the telltale signs of Christopher slowly standing up off the counter and then mechanically, slowly climbing his way down the front of he'll be along shortly.
Right. And as I run there, I want to yell, "Eustace, what's wrong with the machine? Where? Do you know where the bug is?"
It appears to be malfunctioning in a most upsetting manner. If I could get closer, I could perhaps identify it, but my confounded chair is stuck in a mud puddle. This one's up to you, Midas.
So I want to get as close as I can. Can I make it to the machine this turn?
Absolutely, because this is a dramatic task, and I said so.
Okay, so what I want to do is, so the machine is kind of just like going in a circle, right?
It's starting to, yes. The air cushion is becoming almost a violent cyclone.
Is there a way to get, under it?
I mean, you can. There is a slight lip beneath the vibromatron, but it is not a lot of space down there. It would be pretty cramped, but you can indeed get under it.
But I guess my question is, if stuff is broken, if the machinery and stuff, would that be, down there under it?
I mean, you tell me, Midas. You're part of the mechanical fabric of this carnival.
Okay, that's how I imagine it. The way I imagine it is it has a small crawl space under it where a lot of the gears and the workings are under it.
Absolutely.
So Midas is just gonna be like, "All right, try and get that girl off of the thing as fast as you can," and then he's just going to get on the ground and kind of try and pull himself under the vibromatic and hope that it doesn't crush him in the thing going through.
All right, Midas, athletics roll? Or, you know what? You're trying to get the side panel off. Why don't we start with repair?
Okay, repair will do.
Before you get under there, you gotta get access.
Yeah. So he'll grab one of his weird science pry bar multi-tools and just try and pull the thing off.
Okay.
I aced on a 6.
Okay.
So that's an 8.
An 8. That is 2 successes. A success with a raise.
Yay!
So you pull out your tools and immediately go to work, unscrewing enough of the things keeping it connected so that you can remove a panel, revealing the darkness underneath the vibromatotron. You can hear the threatening mechanical clanking coming up from underneath the thing as the pistons that make it function slam into action. As you all watch, the little girl who is screaming inside, although whether it's with fear or with joy, it's hard to tell in the midst of this chaos. You can see she is now kind of being slung around in a circle, almost like she's on a top. And then as you watch, she is flipped up on a cushion of air up into the air. She rises maybe 6-7 feet before somersaulting back down onto the cushion and then rolling down into the middle, then shooting up the other side a little bit higher. And as you all watch, the cushion of air is maintaining itself in time with her falls, but it's only going to take one off moment if it keeps throwing her up into the air for her to come crashing down onto the metallic floor of the vibromatotron, which brings us to round 2 of the dramatic task. Celestina, an 8 of hearts.
Wow, another 8.
Midas, a 2 of diamonds.
All right.
Victor, a 4 of clubs, Victor.
Wait, does quick work on this?
It does
Yes.
not in a dramatic task, I don't think.
I think it does.
I think it
actually.
does.
It does
Because
work in a
we
dramatic
didn't
task.
play it that way before, but I remember I looked up.
Yeah, we looked it up, I
Somebody
believe.
brought it up specifically, and I'm
I
pretty
think
sure it
I
does.
do remember this. So you know what? Let's say it does work for it. How about an ace of spades instead?
Ooh, okay.
Also, don't forget, you can also spend a penny in a dramatic task to get a new card.
yeah.
Buster, that's a 3 of clubs for you, buddy.
I'll get a new one.
All right, you're going to spend a penny for a new card. A 3 of spades this time.
There we go.
Well,
Much, much better. Okay, we will start off with Victor Parrish.
So
Things
Victor,
are getting violent up here on the Vibromatotron.
so Victor sees this girl in trouble who is screaming, which is real bad for business, unless it's for joy, in which case it might also be good for business. He is going to holster his pistol and run, and his plan is to basically jump onto and catch her, and then continue down and off of the Vibrotron platform.
Okay, so you want to take like a flying leap and try and grab her in midair before she falls back down into the device's clutches, and hope that you would sail out of the Vibromatotron.
This is correct.
All right, Victor. That sounds like athletics to me, unless you have a better idea.
Nope, that sounds about right.
Okay, and as you are preparing to make that roll, I would like Fractured Avatar 13 to know that I see you, and I would like to give that curious ticket to the players.
Thank you.
Yay!
And the DAT Network would like to give a curious ticket to me, the Ringmaster. So
Oh,
thank you very much.
Well.
Thank
That
you.
network.
Thank you.
People.
Thank you.
All right,
They're good.
let's
They're
get
good
that
people.
athletics roll.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
but
garbage. I'm gonna use a Benny to reroll it.
A Benny to re-roll for Victor. Benny spent is a Benny earned.
I got a 4.
4. Okay, that is a success. So, Victor, you take a flying leap after a running start and try and grab the girl in midair, but you misjudge it slightly, and also the cushion of air from the Vibromatotron cycles up just beneath you as you jump over there, shooting you off target and above the girl. As you reach down, you grab onto her arm, but then both of you are now sliding into the cushion of air that is getting taller and more violent above the Vibromatotron. So you're in it, Victor, but are you in it to win it? We don't yet know. Next up, Celestina.
okay, if I can get over there, can I utilize elemental manipulation to shoot my own air to try and essentially like help both Victor and her off of this thing?
The answer to that is a resounding yes.
Huzzah! Okay.
So I think that's going to be a spell casting roll, and don't forget to spend your power points, Celestina. We will say
Okay.
spell casting will be your addition to this dramatic task in round 2.
Okay. I mean, that's a success, but can I have a curious ticket to see if I can get a better success?
You can indeed, just don't crit fail. That's not allowed.
Oh, I never will. I never would. I never would.
Never say
But
never.
it's slightly better. 6.
A 6
Is what
is
I got.
still not a success with a raise, but it is a success. Celestina, you take advantage of the chaos all around the Vibromatotron and the crowd making their way back and watching in shock and awe to use this little bit of distraction to bring a little bit of magical energy to the equation. And as you start to whisper and make the movements necessary to summon the elements, you bring up your own jet of air and use it to what?
I essentially, whenever the air kind of shoots them up, my thought is to then push some air in so maybe it can shoot them off.
So you
of this
watch
thing.
and you try and time it. You see them shoot up into the air and then come down. And just as they're coming down, you fire off your jet of air, hoping that it will hit them mid-air and knock them out of the Vibromatotron. However, as that happens, the Vibromatotron just goes entirely still out of nowhere, and the cushion of air that they were heading for vanishes entirely. However, your jet of air shoots out underneath them and slows their descent just enough for the machine to rattle back to life and shoot the cushion of air back into place, keeping them from splatting onto the metallic floor of the Vibromatotron, but not knocking them out, Celestina. Buster.
Is there anything around here that I can put in the way of it spinning around that will kind of almost kind of break it, like maybe a piece of wood or something that won't be a hard stop but will kind of slow it down a little bit?
I mean, Buster, it is a carnival. You've got the tool, all kinds of various and sundry tools at your disposal. If you are looking for a plank of wood to try and disrupt a cushion of air, I imagine you could find one at Nightlinger's Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary.
Okay, that's what I would like to do then. I'm going to grab probably just a spare piece of wood that's been sticking around, and I'm just going to try to shove it in like, kind of like putting something in the spoke and in the spoke of a wheel to try to stop it, but. Okay. My hope is that it's not going to be like a sudden stop, that it will kind of, because it's wood and stuff, it will kind of like grind it down and slow things down slowly.
Okay, remind me again, what is your PhD in, Buster?
It's in theoretical physics.
Theoretical physics. Oh,
yeah.
It's not going to help you a whole lot here.
Oh, no.
Buster,
this is actual physics.
I am going to say is there is no just errant random piece of wood nearby, but you do see the plywood stand of Leduc's assistant chef, who is morosely and somewhat overwhelmedly trying to still hand out treats as all of this is happening. Banana brew, get your banana brew, and you just kind of reach over to the side of his little stall and just rip off one part of it, which just makes the whole thing collapse. Oh, yeah. Mr. Leduc is gonna be so mad!
Oh, we got bigger problems, man. Come on.
And then you run over towards the Vibromatotron with your plank of wood. What are you rolling for this, Buster?
I imagine this is probably going to be an athletics roll.
That's how it reads to me. Let's hear it. And
All
by
right.
hear it, I mean see it. And by see it, I mean you tell us what it is, so hear it. We've come full circle.
I mean, that's a 4. That's
a 4 is a success. Are you going to stand on it?
I
mean, you guys have an entire other round after this. I'm sure the little girl and Victor will be fine.
I know. Yes, I will stand on it.
Now the stakes have risen.
All right. So
if we fail, Victor dies.
You run over to the Vibromatotron with your plank of wood, and as you see the Victor and the little girl and the cushion of air pass by you, and I'm sure Victor has some choice words for you as you run up too.
Get me off of this damn thing!
You wait for a panel to flip up off the floor of the Vibromatotron, and you shove this like plank of wood right into it, and it does try and come back down, meet the resistance of the wood, and start making a grinding mechanical noise, but you can't tell whether or not it's having any sort of slowing effect on the machine yet. Midas, you're up.
So Midas is crawling through the very kind of low area under the Vibromatotron.
Oh man, and down here, it's like a video game platforming timing nightmare. It's just pistons slamming down onto the ground in the darkness all around you.
Oh my god.
And for whatever reason, a guillotine, like it's just sharp edges just coming down and
Weird science
and
spikes.
and here we are.
So Midas is just kind of looking around, and he's gonna try and I want to use notice and try and find either like a loose gear or maybe a piston that's like not firing properly, or something that is not properly connected with the closing rig. This is the second. We have one more round, right?
One more round after this, yes.
Okay.
All right, so you're trying to find something, anything that's out of whack that you might be able to either address to fix this or shut the ride down. Give me a notice roll, Midas.
Oh, and he flips down his glasses because it's probably not particularly well lit under here.
It definitely isn't. This will cast everything into sharp relief. You know what? I'll give you a +2 on this roll. Why not?
Okay, I'll take it.
It's the opposite of a darkness penalty. Makes sense.
I got a 4. Can I use a curious ticket?
You can indeed. A 4 with a +2 is nothing to write home about, though it is a success.
Okay, but I aced on this one. So
That's much better.
Okay, so that's a 12.
A 12. A 12 is a success with 2 raises. 1, 2, 3. All right. As you are looking around down there, Midas, you do see what looks like a sprocket and a spring that have sprung out of position, and they are flinging themselves back and forth wildly with sort of a crazy cartoonish noise that of course you can't hear over all the death pistons around you. And as you're looking, you look up just a moment too late to see one of those pistons come slamming down right towards your unprotected face. But just before it does, a plank of wood shoots down from above the floor of the machine and interrupts it just millimeters away from your face as you hear what sounds like Victor cursing up a storm above you. That is the end of that round. Final round. Celestina.
Oh boy.
A king of clubs.
Oh, clubs. Uh-oh.
Midas. A queen of clubs.
Whoa!
Oh,
Club
no.
City.
Victor. A 10 of clubs.
Oh, good. We've hit the club section.
And Buster. A 9 of spades.
Oh,
Okay, I'll keep it.
Almost
This
got a
is
flush
not
there.
Looking great for you guys, but
Oh,
you
she
don't
turned
have
red.
much more to do. Oh no, Megan got
She went
angry.
full Bluto in the Popeye movie.
oh.
Oh.
You guys are close to dealing with this situation, but it does not look like it's going to be easy. Does anyone want to spend a Benny to redraw, or do you want to go with
Benny.
your -2s?
No.
I would
Come
like
on.
a different card, please.
I
Please.
would like to remind you, at this point, you guys do have 12 successes. You only need 13. You don't have to act if you have a club. You could all just choose to sacrifice your turn and hope Midas gets at least 1 success. However,
You mean
if he
me?
doesn't, or he critically fails. Oh, sorry, yes, Buster. Buster, yes, you are the last one. However, if that doesn't happen, that's not going to go well. So
Can we go on hold in dramatic tasks?
I don't know, and for the sake of drama, I'm going to say no right now. You can't go on hold in this one. It's too high stakes. There could be a personal injury lawsuit.
I'm going to redraw mine.
All right,
Sure.
1 Benny for Midas to get not a queen of clubs, but a 5 of hearts.
All right, I'll take that.
Nice.
Celestina, Victor, standing with it, dancing with the girl you came with.
Dancing. I'm good.
I'll stay.
You're both dancing. Celestina, you are up first. And the tides of fortune seem to have turned against you. You're at a -2 for any action you take this round, and should you critically fail, the worst possible thing will happen.
Oh, Jesus. No pressure, though.
Oh God. I will try to use elemental manipulation again. Oh crap! My file died.
Oh no!
Oh.
Tech
We
fail.
see the whole.
What
we
is
see it all.
happening? Wow.
Pay no
Yeah.
attention
Real
to
life
Wait.
crit fail.
stuff behind the curtain.
You're not in a room with lots of
I'm not.
things.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to use my spell casting again, just to see if I can kind of help make I saw how important it was to have a little bit of air cushion before.
You definitely
So-
did.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because I know that Midas is
mean-
trying to fix it from underneath. So.
Uh-huh.
There I go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, one of those was a 1, and that made me really nervous. But the other one aced, and it aced again.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
actually much better.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's 21.
21. Okay, 21
Jesus.
is substantially more than what you needed. That is way more. So, Celestina, tell me how you use elemental manipulation to finally solve this issue.
I think she's just like, oh no, and she just uses she sends
See
this
it.
burst of air.
Character.
This burst of air, and she's just kind of like all in one direction, and it simultaneously is able to push Victor and this girl hopefully to at least a place of safety, and it also goes underneath to help Midas press or turn a particular lever to get it off, to turn off. Wow.
Okay.
Words.
So, because you got such an exceptional roll, what happens is you summon up yet another jet of air, but hearing the screams of everyone around and seeing that there's not much time, you feel this little burst of anxiety inside of you to see this innocent girl about to be damaged or worse by something that should be fun, and you feel the power swell up inside of you as a giant jet of air shoots out of your outstretched hands, flying out above the top of the machine and whisking both Victor and the unfortunate young girl off of it and tumbling out onto the ground on the other side of the vibromatotron, while underneath the device, Midas, you are lifting your tools up, about to address that loose spring and sprocket, when a huge blast of air shoves you forward and shoves your tools up into the mechanism, which starts to grind and clank and then smoke and steam, but then finally come to a very, very rumbling stop. Well done, folks. That concludes this dramatic task. As you all stand there, gasping, and Midas, you come struggling out from underneath the vibromatotron. You see the crowd all around just kind of staring in shock and fear. And Victor, you stand up and brush yourself off, feeling largely okay. Buster, you throw the plank down and rush over to the little girl who is making some sort of high keening sound. And as you reach her, you pull her over onto her back, and you see tears streaming down her face as she just giggles and laughs with excitement, rolling back and forth in the grass. Oh my lord, that was amazing!
Yes, it was. Yes.
Oh,
Where
does
are
it do
you?
that every night?
You know,
You hear
not
a hush fall down over the crowd, and everyone assembled just sort of leans forward, waiting to hear what you say in response, Buster.
It's different for everyone. Yep, it's that's sort of the magic of the vibromatotron. It everyone can experience something exciting every time you ride it.
But right now, nobody can experience it for just a little while. And I go over to the like stand where you do it, and I flip a little sign that says "out of order."
And as the crowd starts to get agitated, I'm sorry, Buster, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, then once I've made sure that she's all right, then I'm going to stand up and swing my guitar back around, and I'm going to play the vibromatotron song that just kind of talks about how exciting it can be, but every once in a while we gotta take a look at it. It's kind of there's some rhyming couplets in there. It's really a complex song, but arpeggios.
Goes up and down.
As you start to play the Vibromatotron is out of service song, Nightlinger comes sweeping up through the crowd, his arms out wide, a small crowd of people trickling out of his cabinet of curiosities. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my, it appears we have had quite a bit of excitement tonight around the Vibromatotron, but excuse me, Mr. Parrish, do you have your watch upon you, sir?
Yeah, I got it.
What might the time be?
It's 11.
11 o'clock? Oh, my word, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's to be expected here. You know, I did say that we would go until midnight tonight, but it appears that we have a little bit of upkeep and maintenance to attend to, so I think this evening's festivities must sadly come to a close. But now, do not have any sad faces or frowns about. I extend to all of you an invitation to come back tomorrow evening for our second and final engagement. And as a show of goodwill from all of us here at Nightlinger's Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary, I would like to offer each and every one of you a voucher for a free candy cloud to be enjoyed at your leisure while you stroll around and take in the rest of the delights that unfortunately must be cut short this evening. It is, after all, growing late, and the devil's hour will soon be upon us. So all good God-fearing folk must return to their places of residence. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to collect your voucher for Candy Cloud on the way out, and we do hope to see you back tomorrow night. We promise. Everything will go off without a hitch. Just gotta work out a few malfunctions. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Have a pleasant evening. Buster, why don't we play them out?
Good night, go to bed, leave the carnival. Yeah, I play the good night song. That's always
didn't
played.
Unlock that yet.
No, I know that was definitely not the cowboy song. Yeah,
preview.
we're still about 18 subs away from unlocking a new song next week. So
Okay.
just let you know.
All right. So, as the assembled crowd start to disperse and grumble, some of them looking relieved, some of them looking upset, all of them looking a bit tired and worried, they start to stream out of the carnival ground and head back to the town of Nouveau Départ. However, as they stream out, one figure remains standing in the middle of the crowd and just stares ahead at all of you and Nightlinger while the rest of the folks meander their way out into the night. And once few enough people remain that there is a small amount of privacy, and she continues to stare over, Nightlinger casts his eye that way, and you see him take her in and raise an eyebrow just slightly and say, "Why, Matilda, what brings you to our fine establishment this evening?" And she just stands there and looks at him. "Nightlinger, I think you know very well what brings us here this evening."
Us?
And as you say that, the woman in red with the flaming red hair just sort of gestures lazily behind herself. And you see the very tall, charming, smiling gentleman dressed in the black duster just sort of leaning up against one of the stalls behind her with a toothpick in his mouth. And when he sees you meet his eyes, Celestina, he just touches his forehead and winks. Over her other shoulder is the very bright and peppy, short-haired, pixie-cut blonde with the very large shoulders underneath her jacket, just standing with her arms crossed over by one of the signposts proclaiming, "This way to the Den of Delights."
Oh,
I see that the entire Triune is assembled. How lovely for us. However, perhaps I'm wrong here. Celestina,
Yes.
we are in Kansas, are we not?
I believe so, yes.
Well, let's see. If we're in Kansas, now that's not Texas, is it, Celestina?
Oh, I mean, I don't think so. No, two
it's not-
different places, yes.
Very much so. Yes, Texas and Kansas cannot be confused. And let's see, Kansas is also not a territory, or am I much mistaken? Is Kansas a state or a territory, everyone?
I believe it's a territory.
No,
Or a state at this time.
Yes. You're just having a bit of fun with me
Yeah.
here, Buster. It is, of course, a state.
all of us were like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I guess that's not an entirely fair question to spring on you guys in an alternate history U.S. It was supposed to be a softball. I set it up. It's fine. We'll move past it. Well, that's interesting. If it isn't a territory and it isn't Texas, then what possible jurisdiction could territorial rangers have here in Kansas? And at that, you all perk up a little bit because the Rangers are widely known as law enforcement officers that travel far and wide. Now, technically, yes, their jurisdiction is limited to Texas and the territories, but their jurisdiction also seems to extend wherever it is they feel like they need to be at the moment. I'm just wondering what could bring you out on so questionably legal terms, Matilda. I could ask you the same thing, Nightlinger. What brings all of you to this little town of Nouveau Départ?
It must be very confusing. It's so hard to tell what we're here for. It's a carnival.
And Nightlinger just sort of gestures over to you and smiles as though that is self-evident. Oh yeah. And why this particular town? I'm curious, actually. Did any of you get any kind of information from Mr. Nightlinger here about why this place was chosen?
We don't need information about where we're going. We just go wherever the carnival goes, and then we perform. That's our job.
I mean, there are people here, aren't there? That's enough of a reason to have a carnival here, isn't it?
You see, Matilda, my employees are as much in the know as I am. We are a carnival, and we travel to where people might need amusement. I see. And that wouldn't by chance have anything to do with what happened 6 months ago round about these parts, would it? Any of you know anything about that? Did he see fit to share it with you?
Well, I think what Nightlinger sees fit to share with us is whatever it needs to be. It doesn't have to share every single thing with us.
6 months ago was 6 months ago, Matilda, and here we are 6 months later, so I fail to see what bearing that has on anything. Oh. I know that, well, let's see. You got a deal with headquarters, Nightlinger, so I ain't gonna do anything to disrupt your operation, seeing as how you ain't broken any rules. But it is curious to me, can you account for your whereabouts for the last 6 months? Where exactly have you been getting around to recently? Or is this your first time through Nouveau Départ in recent memory?
It is as far as I know. It's a big place, this American area. Lots of places and towns to see.
I mean, look, we don't like to go to the same place too many times because the appeal of the new, of the extraordinary could lose its panache. It would be less new.
Well, that's right convenient, ain't it? She says back over her shoulder to her companions who just kind of nod and keep looking at all of you. Well, I suppose if you plan to be in town for another day, we might run into each other again. But I hope that I ain't given no cause to come after you, Jebediah. I mean, after all, as far as I know, you ain't broken no rules, but then again, you were always a wily one, weren't you? Be that as it may, Matilda, as you say, I have broken no rules, and here we are at a bit of an impasse. So if you'll excuse me, myself and my employees must attend to the breaking down of our operation for the evening, and this is something that I must insist is done in private. So if you and your companions could just scurry off back to whatever rock it is that you crawled out from under, we can finish up our business here and be on our way sooner than later. See that you are, she says, and she snaps her fingers and turns and walks away. And as she stalks past them, the other two just sort of detach from the tents they're leaning up against and walk off into the night after her. Nightlinger just stands and watches them go, tapping his chin thoughtfully.
That Matilda was kind of staring at your wagon for a long time, boss.
Was she, Buster?
That tall man, he came in for reading, but seemed overly interested in magic.
I guess now that I see things in the light of how they are now, the other woman was fascinated with Christopher as well.
Vika followed. Has Vika come back?
As you're saying that, Vika comes flapping out of the night sky and lands on your shoulder.
What'd you see, Vika?
Man, gone.
Is that all you see? He didn't do anything specific at Carnival.
Vika seems confused by the question. Man, walk.
All right. He didn't do anything suspicious.
Let me get this straight. 3 territorial rangers walk in to my establishment and interact with each and every one of you, and I find out when they confront me in the midst of a crowd.
Well,
Is that about the long and short of it?
To be fair, sure, sir. We didn't. I didn't know that they were territorial rangers at the time.
Did you ask?
Well, that's not something. No.
I did.
He looks over at you, Victor. You asked if they were a territorial ranger or not. And then after getting an answer, you saw fit to keep it to yourself.
I didn't ask specifically, but I asked if they had a badge, and that's when that vibra whatever started going off, so I didn't get a chance to tell anybody.
The Vibromatotron, Victor. It has a specific name, and that name is what it has for a reason, and I'll thank you to remember it, Eustace. Can you get that chair over here and fix this dead blasted machine before I lose my mind and we lose any more money? And over in the corner, you just kind of hear the whir of Eustace's chair as he kind of quietly and slowly moves his chair up towards the Vibromatotron and spins it around so his back is to the rest of you and Nightlinger. Now, there are rangers about here in Nouveau Départ, and I am afraid that they have me at a bit of a loss. That whole 6 months ago business, I have no idea what that was in reference to, and I don't like that. So if the 4 of you are interested in making up for this little faux pas on your part, I would very much appreciate it if after getting a good night's rest to make sure your heads are screwed on straight onto your shoulders, you could march yourselves up into that town and see if you can figure out what it is that the Rangers seem to know about this place before they pin it on us.
Oh, of course, Nightlinger.
Or is that too much of an ask from people that I employ and keep fed and clothed and housed, he says, just kind of shouting out into the night in a circle at the rest of the carnival folk who are all kind of just sweeping up their stalls and taking it down while pointedly avoiding eye contact. Does anyone else have anything to say? No? Good. Then I shall be retiring for the evening. I expect a full report from the 4 of you as soon as you are ready to deliver it tomorrow. Good evening to you all. And he flares his coat out behind himself and storms off towards his wagon, stalking his way the whole time and stabbing the ground with his cane as he flings the door open and slams it behind himself.
Well, that went about as well as I thought it could.
Well, I don't... It feels like this seems very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, well...
We should do better for Nightlinger next time. Next time, I'll ask more about badges from people.
Yeah.
Just ask for badges. Just when they enter, you could do it, Buster. When folks come in, you go, hello, welcome to Carnival, do you have badge?
I don't know if I could get to everyone as they get into the carnival, but yeah, we're definitely going to try and keep track. It's kind of convenient that the vibromatotron went haywire right when Victor was getting into it with that Matilda person.
That's good point. Midas, you think you could tell if there was some sort of sabotage?
Well, things were pretty hectic down under the vibromatotron, but did I get like the things that went wrong? Did it seem like there was sabotage or anything like that, or did it just seem like they had fallen off?
Like you said, it was pretty hectic when you were down there. It seemed more to you like there was a little bit of a, like just a wear and tear issue more than any sort of direct sabotage. But like I said, things were going a bit crazy, and it was dark and haywire down there, even with your owl eye lenses on. So it's hard to know for sure.
Well, it's the nature of complex machinery, especially ones that are dealing with systems that are interlocking, such as this, with pistons and gears and the like, that there are just room for things to basically fall apart in natural wear and tear. Now, it wouldn't have taken much of an interaction, but if someone who was outside force to make something like that just work less efficiently than it normally did. But I did not necessarily. I don't. As far as I can tell, I don't think there was any sabotage involved.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Well, I think we'd do best to do what Nightlinger says and get a good rest and head out in the morning and see what we can find out what happened to this town 6 months ago, and let Leonard know and the rest of the hands know that they should all take a double check of all of the equipment and make sure nothing else is going to go haywire tomorrow. Nightlinger does not need another incident like that.
Yes, this sounds good. So let's go to sleep. We wake up at dawn. Yes, go to town.
Yeah.
Yes. I should probably check with Eustace and make sure he doesn't need me to help repair the machine first.
You feel a tugging on your pants, Midas, and even though he's programmed to do this and you knew he was following you, you can't help but sometimes be startled by the sudden appearance of Christopher next to you.
I look down at him. Yes, very good, Christopher. Go back to the wagon and go into sleep mode for the night, Christopher.
Good night.
Good night, Christopher.
Why do you talk to it that? Okay.
No. It's good to speak to him. He actually can help. He can take in. It's good. It's good. Please.
Well, I did this joke and also to be nice to Midas. I could do two at once.
You all also know, it's worth pointing out at this point, Nightlinger's moods are best described as mercurial. Sometimes he is all smiles and jokes for days at a time. Other times it's dark moods and bitter words and shouts for anyone who gets in his way. Sometimes it turns on a dime. But this, he did seem legitimately rattled by the appearance of these three territorial rangers. And that, if for no other reason other than it's unusual, does stand out to the four of you. So as you bed down for the night and prepare for an early morning, I think now is as good a time as any for us to take a very quick biological break. So,
good.
We will be back in just a few short minutes, folks, as we attend to some of our base foul needs. We won't trouble you with the details, but we'll just go do our evil business, and we'll be back in a few short minutes. So don't go nowhere. And hey, maybe watch these things that we do.
Okay, I think I did it. I hacked the stream. Why are we doing this again? Isn't it like incredibly illegal to hack it? Whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'll read the thing. Okay. It is I, evil Jim Jam from Dragons and Things. Guys, I don't want to do the evil thing anymore. I'm trying to be like a nice GM now. Come on, I told you about this. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. It is I, evil Jim Jam from the Dragons and Things network. Over on and I hacked the. I'm done. Can this be over? I'm done. Just give them back their stream. Let them do their thing. Let them put on. They're nice people trying to put on a show, really, and we're doing this to them. This is nonsense.
What did they?
Why
they
does
got
that-
us again?
Yeah, they did. Oh my god.
You didn't even seem that into it. What's you?
Fix that? I thought we changed that.
Well, we put up a lot of firewalls.
Okay,
But
Dom,
Still
we're
got
gonna
through
need
it.
to put up 3 or 4 more firewalls, and someone's gonna have to do something about this. Hey, JP Garoff, can you guys do any stuff like the hackers can in that movie Hackers?
I know a guy. He's a hitman. He could solve the problem.
I could mess
Oh,
around
no,
in the mainframe, you know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think we'd rather the mainframe thing than the Hitman thing,
So
probably.
no murder. No. Okay.
No, we like them.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
no.
they're
We
really,
just,
yeah,
yeah, I
they're
mean,
just very good at hacking us. But
Yeah, and we can't let this stand. So,
Like, they're good
anyways,
at everything
We'll get
else.
to that.
I'll
We'll
tell
get
Craig
to that.
to not.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sitting with us. Sorry about the technical difficulty we had there for just a moment. Our systems were overtaken, but we're back and we're ready to jump back in. Let's see, we've got a few toasts and a couple things to hand out here after the break. So everyone, when you are ready, raise your weird cup of whatever imbibement you are having this evening.
Just regular beer.
Regular beer it is. RD Armand, me too, would like us to toast. What a lively crowd. Carnival days are the best. Set them up and knock them down. Thank you very much. It's a lovely crowd out there. Catme Gordon would like us to toast. To Midas, who charms with wit and style, and Buster, who strums to bring a sweet smile, to Victor, whose aim is true and straight, and Celestina, who throws the cards to reveal your fate. But above all of them, the voice I love best, I'm Christopher. Set him up and knock him down. Thank you very much, Catme Gordon. And Popcorn Lady bought us a
my.
toast.
Oh god.
There are times I feel like I've been forgotten. It is not nice to forget a lady. Set him up and knock him down. Thank you very much, Popcorn Lady, and don't you worry none. We ain't forgot about you. Also,
How could we?
Toa47 would like to give 1 curious ticket to the players.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
There we are. I will remind Dom as well that you do still have the extra effort action card or adventure deck card in effect for the evening. And we have also unlocked the second to last reward tier. And this one is called Utmost Unguent. So thank you very much, mysterious strangers in chat, for unlocking Utmost Unguent. And we will see what that does maybe here in just a moment. But before
Is that how that's pronounced?
What?
I have
Unguent.
no
Utmost? I'm pretty sure
Unguent.
it's
Unguent.
Unguent?
Unguent.
I always assumed it was like unguent.
No, it's
I just see it
unguent.
spelled and I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, sorry. This one's not unguent.
Oh,
This is an unguent.
okay.
It's
I just have
different.
no idea. I've
You'll
just always
see.
seen it.
Yeah, you're new to it. You don't know yet. You'll see.
hope you guys-
Yanto 7.
It's like the Witcher game, but not the Witcher game. It's an unguent.
Yeah, it's an unguent.
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 If you
There's no U in Gwent. Anyways, one more toast from Yanto 7, everyone. The Vibromatatron is out of service song. Parentheses, Western twang. There'll be no more vibrating today. All vibrations have plumb gone away. Even if you pay, you cannot play. There'll be no more vibrating today. Great job, all. Set them up and knock them down. Thank you very much.
I'll knock
Yanto
one down
7.
for that.
If you haven't looked at the top tier yet, you should, because I think it's cool.
Okay, I'll check it out.
No, not now. We need you here in the game.
Okay, sorry.
You.
I also like the sub goal because maybe that song could be the one that I sing next week.
Well, I hope you wrote the lyrics down. Let's jump back into the game tonight, folks. So, was there anything else that anyone wanted to do that evening before we move on to the following day?
No.
No.
Sleep?
So say we all.
Unless Eustace needs me to like repair anything, then I would probably help him with that.
Eustace just kind of seems like he wants to deal with the machine and not have much interaction with any of you right now after Nightlinger yelled at you in front of the entire carnival. So Eustace just kind of gives you a half nod and turns his attention back to tinkering with the vibromatotron.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go to bed.
All right, so you wake up bright and early the next morning to the musical sound of life on the high plains of Kansas. There they are. What would you all like to do today?
Well, I suppose the first thing we should do is go right into the town, right? That seems to be the main issue. I suppose the territorial rangers will also be there, yes?
More than likely, yeah.
Yes.
Now, specifically, they mentioned something that happened 6 months ago, so maybe if we go and just try and, I don't know, ask around about an event that happened. If it was something that rangers came in for, it must have been something that people knew about, right?
Do you think rangers were here? They might not have been. It could have been something that happened in town.
Well,
but I guess either way.
Well, I'm just saying, whether the rangers were here or not, if it drew rangers here, then it must have been something big or something noticeable.
Is that how rangers usually work? I don't know. Is this first time maybe run into a ranger for me?
I just know them by reputation, really.
Well,
Regardless,
shall we go?
just know that this is probably a sensitive issue with people in town. I imagine if it's big enough for rangers to show up in 3 at a time, I imagine that this town went through something big and probably horrific 6 months ago. So, don't agitate. Just try to...
Right.
Okay, I try. I just seem to agitate people with presents, but I try. Out of character, what do we know about the Rangers?
There are many rumors and tales about the Rangers. Some come from the Tombstone Epitaph, some come through word of mouth, some come to those unlucky enough to them in person. The Rangers are a very feared law enforcement agency. They started off in Texas and have now been granted authority over Texas and all of the territories. In other places, should they see the need, they are ostensibly a peacekeeping force and a highly trained one at that. The saying for Rangers is one riot, one ranger, indicating that typically one ranger is enough to take on most problems. So the presence of 3 territorial rangers at once is a little bit unheard of. The epitaph mentions that rangers actually have a secondary purpose, or maybe even a secret primary purpose, which is hunting and exterminating monsters. But those, of course, are just rumors that come through the epitaph, and no one believes the epitaph, but everyone reads it.
Okay, so we know that. Okay.
You would all know at least that much, yes.
So did I say that the one tall, handsome one, he was asking about magic, and I got the distinct impression that he meant, like, real magic, like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I had not exactly the same sort of inquiries from the blonde woman, but she seemed to in retrospect, one would be wondering if there were biological elements to Christopher and other, well, automatons created in the same vein.
Does she not know what automaton mean?
I mean, I tried to explain it to her. I told her
Hold up.
that
There's not, right?
no, Buzz.
From behind Midas's legs, Christopher pokes his eyes out. I'm Christopher.
I'm asking you one more time. There's not, right?
Buzz, I haven't. I would not put child components in Christopher. He is purely clockwork.
I feel like we would smell that pretty quickly after a while, right?
All right.
I mean,
Well, theoretically, if I were to use such systems, it would.
No,
would have to set up some sort of system
I
to get
don't.
them
No,
preserved.
no. I don't want to know. I do not want to know.
They're not.
No,
They're not
I
there.
don't. Midas,
There's no
I
biological.
don't know. I don't want to know. Okay.
The less
You-
we know
you
about that
can
little boy,
know.
the better, Modest. Like,
What-
keep him to
Yes.
yourself.
What
do
Victor
you
said.
mean? He's a clockwork intuitive system.
He's an ungodly piece of machinery. That's all I
Oh,
know.
he is quite terrifying. But
Midas,
you know,
you gesture over to him, and Christopher is currently just stomping up and down on an anthill, just like spinning in a circle and just stomping repeatedly on the anthill and the ants, while he just watches all of you talk.
at least he can't get beaten.
no, look. I don't know what any of you are talking about. Christopher is fun. He's just he's a toy. He's a toy writ large, as it were.
Listen, we don't have problem with you wanting to play with toys. It's just not a toy that we trust because it's creepy. But that's fine. That's fine. Let's go to town. Yes, I don't want to be
Yeah.
yelled at. Might linger again.
Right. Let's go.
All right,
All right.
come on,
And
Christopher.
As the carnival crew are getting things together and greeting the day and preparing breakfast, I mean, which you might be able to grab just a little bit of before you depart, Eustace T. Ellington comes wheeling over to the four of you. One moment, Wonder Squad. I must admit, that moniker is my fault.
Shut your hole, old man. What do you want?
I'm sorry about him, Eustace. He doesn't mean that.
Well,
It probably does.
I came over here in order to let all of you know to not be too hard on yourselves. Mr. Nightlinger was a little bit emotional last night, so you shouldn't blame yourselves or take his words too much to heart. In fact, I've a gift for you. Then he starts going through a little saddlebag on the side of his motorized chair. Yes, here we are. This is a small tub of Doc Coinky Dink's undamaging unguent. I thought that I should hand it over to you since, just in case you get into any sort of trouble, it could come in handy perhaps. Good for rubbing on what ails you.
What?
All right.
Why?
I mean.
Why
Thanks,
it's
Doc.
called undamaging? That assumes that the other ones have damaging properties. if not-
Precisely, yes. This one is used to undo the damage done by other unguents of Doc Coinky Dinks.
Oh. Okay.
Midas knows all about this. He is quite well
yes.
known in weird science circles.
He's well respected in the alchemy wing of weird science circles.
New science. Sorry,
New
yes,
science.
Be better about saying that. No one will ever take us seriously if we keep calling it weird.
It is weird.
It gets into all of our minds sometimes.
It's the vernacular.
But
Anyways,
Okay.
This is for all of you. A mysterious stranger gave it to me last night at the carnival, and I've no use for it, so I might as well pass it along. And that indeed is true, because the mysterious strangers did unlock the utmost unguent. But this one's an unguent, and now you have it now. And with that, Eustace salutes and turns about in his chair and rides away.
Well,
All right. I think we're set. We've got some stranger's juice. to carry around, and
Alcohol it like
juice.
that.
Ugh.
Oh yes, that's very bad.
Well, Celestina, you weren't complaining about it when you got shot in the arm with a shotgun the
Oh,
other night.
I drank
so-
stranger juice for that. Some person's juice. Oh,
well, no,
well,
I poured it onto the... It's not important,
All
but
right.
either
It
way, it
stings.
is effective.
This is different. This is Doc Coinky Dink's unctuous, undamaging unguent.
Right.
And the way that it works is if you use it and apply it, you make a vigor roll. If you succeed, you heal a wound, but only up to 1 wound, even if you get a raise. No more wounds than that. However, if you crit fail, it doesn't explode. So that's a selling
Hey,
point.
oh,
nice.
Cool.
yeah.
okay.
Yes. Okay.
It's very undamaging.
Yes.
All right, let's hit the road before Nightlander wakes up and sees us. We're still here.
Oh
right.
yes. Well, let's not be here.
Okay, so you all are heading out into the town proper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all walk out of the carnival and head over into the town of Nouveau Départ. Now yes.
I was just going to say, since if we're going on foot this time, then I have like some straps that I kind of keep Christopher on my back, like a little papoose type thing.
I mean, you can take your velocipede and you all can take horses should you have them, but it's not too far into town.
If we don't need to, he didn't take the peed.
Okay, all right. So you have a papoose on your back, and you left the peed in the garage. You don't want to get it too worn by the weather. So
Well, last time it got stolen by the locals, and then
fair point.
you know.
As I said, Nouveau Départ is a pretty standard-sized frontier town out here on the northern stretch of Kansas. One main road, a cluster of other buildings and settlements about. However, as we said last night at the carnival, folks were rather spendy. So it seems like there must be money of some kind in this town as well. But other than that, the fact that it's got a French name and that the people here had money to spend on amusement, that's about all you know.
All right. Well, let's kind of hit up the regular spots. I imagine we could go to the saloon, and maybe if they've got some sort of paper or something nearby, they might have some sort of information.
Yes. I
yeah.
wonder, do newspapers usually keep old articles from, say, 6 months ago?
Yeah, that's a good idea. If we were to check out the local paper, perhaps they, if not have an archive, they would at least know what happened.
Hopefully.
As
Yes.
you all are walking into town, I mean, it's still fairly early in the morning, so there aren't a whole lot of people about, but folks are getting up and getting to their day's work. I mean, it's the frontier, and the day starts with the rising of the sun. So as activity begins to spill out of the buildings of Nouveau Départ, you pass by a couple of townsfolk who greet you with a nod and a tip of the hat, or a morning, or a smile. They don't seem like an unfriendly bunch, although you do catch sight of a fair few of them off a little ways from the street, sort of pointing and whispering at the four of you. It seems there were a fair amount of people at the carnival last night, and your reputations precede you.
I don't think we would find that unusual, though, right?
Not at all. You guys are always a source of curiosity and intrigue in these small towns that you visit.
Oh, well, I think we've made an impression. Looks like folks will be coming back tonight. That's a good thing.
Well, that's good. That will help put a Nightlinger at ease, I hope.
As long as there's money coming in.
So is there anything in particular you all are looking for, or are you just wanting to try and get a lay of the land?
I mean, I'd say definitely lay of the land, but also specifically saloons or any gathering places, and then newspaper or some sort of informational hub.
Okay, will everyone give me a notice roll, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I aced on both.
Ooh.
10.
A 10?
10.
Okay, that's a success with a rate. You also got a 10?
10.
I have
Wow.
a curious ticket.
A curious ticket. Yes,
So
you
if it
can
matters at
indeed.
this point.
I'm a little. I know I'll say this and I'll regret it, but I'm a little disappointed I haven't gotten more crit fails since I do have Trouble Magnet.
We're all disappointed that you haven't gotten more crit fails. I think 5 for
15.
15. Wow, that was confusing. So just to check, since everyone's holding up hands in strange ways, you got a 15, not a 10 or a 5. Dom, you got a 4, not an 8, and then the other two of you got 10s. So that is successes all around, successes with at least a raise for everyone but Buster. So this is what you take in. There are, let's see, Buster, what you notice is there is indeed at least one prominent large saloon about in the middle of the street that seems better kept up and more moneyed than the rest around. You know, there's a couple other like dusty drink houses, but this is the place that seems like the crown jewel of the town. The rest of you all notice that saloon as well. But you also notice, that there does not appear to be a newspaper office, at least not one that's immediately visible. B, you notice that there is a marshal's office at the end of the road that also appears to be a jail, and there is a gentleman sitting out on the front porch in a rocking chair who is keeping an eye on all of you without trying to stare or seem impolite. And you all, everyone except for Buster, I suppose, since you did not get the raise, would notice that there is a little girl jumping rope over down about halfway down the main road, and she looks familiar. She's the little girl from last night.
Well, where would they want to start? I mean, there's not going to be many folks in saloons at this time, right?
I don't know. Depends on what else they got going on.
Right.
But
Buster didn't see the kid. Is that what you said?
Buster didn't see the kid. The rest of you did.
Okay. I'm going to point that out to Buster. I'm just going to nudge him and say, there's that kid from last night.
Oh,
So
oh yeah.
I think Midas will go over to the little girl jumping rope
Okay.
and just kind of wave and be like, hello, you're that brave little girl who was riding around on the Vibratron last night, right?
Before we get into this, did anyone else want to walk over with Midas, or are you guys letting him kind of deal with the child since he's the children guy?
I'm not gonna walk over.
I will walk over just because I also had like an interaction with her there.
Okay.
And as as he talks, I will like get down on my haunches basically, so I'm sort of eye level with her as he's talking.
All right, so I'm sorry, Midas. What was the last thing you said to her as she's jumping rope, all pigtails and freckles?
I said you were the little girl who was so brave and who flew around on the Vibratron last night.
She kind of squeals when she sees you all coming over. You're from the carnival!
Yeah, that we are.
Yeah, I was there last night, and you helped me.
Oh, I mean, it helped. I mean, that's kind of how the machine goes. You know, the ride is only a select few get a ride like that. So you got lucky, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You had the best time of anyone there.
Oh, yeah, no, I had a really good time. It was a fun carnival. I think my mom says we're going to come back tonight.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But I'm not supposed to go on any more rides.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably got your fill last night. That's great. That's a pretty good. I think your mama's very wise for doing that.
Of course, smart lady.
Obey your parents, but I can assure you that things like that usually don't happen at the carnival. Like but when they do, they're very fun.
Yeah,
You're funny. You make funny faces.
he does.
You remind me of the man who makes faces at my windows at night sometimes.
I'm sorry. What?
There's a man who makes funny faces at me sometimes at night through the window. It's funny.
Oh, that is sort of funny. When does he come regularly? Like certain nights?
I don't know. Mom says
Uh-huh.
I have colorful dreams.
Oh, about when did you start seeing this man show up?
Oh, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And what does he look like? Does he
Oh,
look?
he makes funny faces sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then he goes away.
Huh. Well, hey, if you ever see him like walking around or anything like that, like just point him out to me, and I'd like to say hi, because anyone who keeps you happy, right? That's a guy I'd like to meet.
If they make funny faces, maybe we could learn to make funny faces ourselves from it.
And you could have a funny face contest at the carnival, and whoever made the funniest face would win. Jelly beans.
They would. Yes, jelly beans.
Uh-huh.
Jelly beans would be perfect.
Yep.
Oh, you know something? I know a secret.
Oh well, we're a carnival folk. We're great at keeping secrets.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to tell anybody though. It's a secret that I saw that nobody saw that I saw, or things that I know about, but I know, so
Well,
I can't tell.
It's very
Oh.
important that if you have a secret, you don't tell the secret except to very special friends. That's true. That's extremely true. But, and I'm sorry, so rude. Well, young lady, what was your name?
Oh, I'm Penelope. I'm Penelope Ackerman.
Oh well, Penelope, I think I have a very special little friend for you right here. And he wants to pull, because he always carries around with him like various little like toys and figurines that he's working on and stuff. And he pulls one out that is like a little princess doll that he has on him. Just, no, I'm not, I of course I would never ask you to tell your secret to us, but you can always tell it to your new friend, Princess Lena.
Princess.
That could be for me.
Of course.
I don't know. My mom says I'm not supposed to take things from strangers. Midas, can you give me a persuasion roll, please?
Yes.
And let's go ahead and throw a +1 onto that, because you brought out a little gift for her.
So it's actually just a straight roll because I have tongue-tied, so I get -1.
I would like to
Yeah,
support.
Before you roll, you're gonna support, Buster?
Yeah.
How would you like to support?
I will also use persuasion and just emphasize that. What did you call her? Princess what?
Lena.
Princess Lena?
I almost forgot.
I
Yeah.
think that's what it was.
But
Yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
sounds about
sure
right.
that's what I said.
Okay. Yeah, that Princess Lena is an excellent secret holder, and that she would do well to tell her secret to Princess Lena.
Oh, okay. All right, so that sounds like a persuasion roll to support
Yeah.
Buster. So give me that roll.
I got that 4. So there's your
Okay, a
+1.
4. So that is a success. There is, yes. Now you are actually at a +1, Midas.
Oh boy.
So let's get that persuasion roll.
When you look closely at the doll, its face looks a little bit like a little carving of Celestina, but in like a nice little like princessy dress kind of thing.
Is it scowling still though?
It's like Celestina if she was like a storybook princess.
Okay.
But it looks like it's been crying for a long time with black makeup, and it's just.
Whenever Celestina sees you pull that out in a distance, she says, I take offense to that.
Okay, Midas carves little figures, and he uses the people in the carnival as his like models for it a lot of
What
the
horrific models. Let's get that persuasion roll.
Yes, rolling. I aced on the 6. Oh boy. Okay, so that's a 10, which makes it an 11.
An 11. All right. An 11 is a success with a raise. Oh, and just in the nick of time, young Gandeldorf would like to give a curious ticket to me, the ringmaster. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just in time.
So she takes the doll from you and looks at it wide-eyed, and then looks around at all of you and kind of turns the doll's face sideways and turns her head, and in a theatrical whisper she says, Princess Lena, I heard that that Mart at the saloon has a secret something that he found that he doesn't want people to see yet. But that's all I heard. I saw him with something secret covered up that he brought into the back, and it looked like he didn't want anyone to know about it. But I saw it, Princess Lena. I see lots of things when I jump rope and watch.
Yeah.
Well, you keep that secret between you and Princess Lena.
Okay.
Here. And I'll give her the doll.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Can I go play now?
Yeah, go ahead, Penny.
Of course, of course.
It's Penelope, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. And she takes the doll tucked under her arm as she continues to skip rope down the road.
All right. Well, that has added something new to this.
Well, it at least gives us something to look into. If
We'll
there's
go
something
back.
That's...
I'm sorry. The Victor and Celestina were not there, right?
Yeah, we weren't there.
We were.
Okay.
I felt like we're probably at least close enough by.
Close-ish.
Yeah, we saw it happen. Probably didn't
Yeah.
hear everything. But
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
about right.
I just want to move back so that you can hear, so that we can tell you all.
Yeah.
Okay, so you catch them up to speed on what young Penelope told you. Now, what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, that gives us a direction. We could go there first. See
I
what we
mean-
can see.
I'm a little concerned about this person who shows up at her window at night. I mean, she's a kid. I don't know. Maybe she's just pulling my chain, but that's a little strange.
Yes, I mean, I suppose it could be dream, but I don't know. Things are a bit weird out here, so it's entirely possible there's some, like, ghosty thing that's staring at her, making funny faces at night.
Or
Right.
simpler and even worse, there could be some sort of, I don't know, a local pervert. I'd hate to imagine that something like that is happening in a nice little town like this, but there are people who
If
I don't even want to think about it.
that
local
sort
pervert. Sorry, I was just gonna say, Celestina. That's my least favorite entry in the Deadlands bestiary. Is the local pervert.
Well, if there's one of those, they don't want to come upon me. They won't
No.
have a very good time of it.
I can't imagine they'd want to come upon any of us. All right. Well, we do have this name, Mart, at the saloon, maybe, that we could talk to about a thing. I don't know if this is going to help solve our issue, but we could maybe find some other information down at the saloon and see if there's someone who knows something that happened here 6 months ago.
It's a place to start.
Secrets always have some value of some sort, so I think there's no cost in us going and looking into it.
Right.
Right.
Let's wet our whistles while we're at it.
Yes. Morning liquor is best.
I think I will hold off after purity. But
You want
enjoy
to
yourself.
stay pure.
Okay, so you guys are heading into the saloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you leave the street and walk into the relative subdued quiet of the Half Moon Saloon here on the streets of
that
Nouveau,
rhymes.
Départ. There are not many people inside at this time of day, although, of course, it's a frontier saloon, so there are always some people about. But
night
it
before.
looks like... What?
I said from the night before.
Possibly, yeah. In fact, there is one such gentleman at a table in the corner with his head down on his hands, snoring loudly into what looks like an empty mug of beer. And at a couple of other tables, there's some muted card games going on. But apart from that, there doesn't appear to be much action. There is a piano, but no one yet here to play it. And behind the bar is a kind of sallow, somewhat overweight gentleman with a shock of white hair on top of his head who looks like the kind of guy who might be just perpetually sunburned. And when you all walk in, he looks up from shining a glass. Oh! Hey! Oh, ain't you folks from that carnival that done come to town?
That's right.
We
Of
are
course.
Well,
Nightlinger's Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary. At your service.
Oh yes, that's the one with the long, complicated name. What's hard to
Yes.
remember? Yeah, he sets down the mug and brushes his hands off on his apron. Pleasure. Well, welcome to the Half Moon Saloon. Name's Mark Crandall. I'm the proprietor of this here establishment. Who might you be?
Well,
Name-
I'm Celestina Moldovano.
All right.
Name's Buster Callahan. You can call me Buzz.
Okay.
Midas Buchanan.
Okay.
I'm Victor Parrish, and I'll take 4 whiskeys, please.
All right, I think I caught Buzz from that. The rest of them were a bit strange kind of sounding names, but I suppose you folks are used to that being from all over as you are. Was it Vincent?
Victor.
Victor, that's the one. Sorry about that. I'm terrible with names, which is bad for a saloon owner. I know. You said 4 vodkas, is that correct?
Oh, vodka.
No, whiskey.
That is good, because I was going to be very disappointed to have to let you know that we don't carry vodka. Whiskey we got. 4 whiskeys coming right up.
You should carry vodka.
Pour. 2. Pour. 3. Pour. And 4. Pour. Sorry, that's how I time out my pours. Make sure everybody gets a equal pour. I don't want anybody to feel like they're getting cheated now. That's not what we're about here at the Half Moon Saloon, folks. And he slides the whiskeys across the bar to you. You know what? Keep this between you and I, because I do have to make a living, but on the house, free of charge for just bringing a little levity and amusement to our fair town.
Oh,
That's quite appreciated.
Much
Ask
obliged.
you.
Yeah. So, what can I do for you folks? I thought you all had kind of your own setup, all self-contained, so you didn't need to come in and mingle with us regular folk.
Sometimes we like to make our way into the town and just sort of see what's going on out here. We have to pick up some supplies and things like that. You understand how it is, and oftentimes we just need a break, as it were, from the hustle and bustle of carnival life.
Oh, of course. Well, that makes sense, right? I mean, you see it every day, but it's new to us, so you got to get away from what it is you know.
Right, yeah. Oh, so what is it? What do you do here in Nouveau? What was it? Nouveau
Départ.
Nouveau Départ.
Everybody says it different. It's a French name.
Oh, so I gather. Yeah.
Yeah. It means a new beginnings, I think, is what it means. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, so what in new beginnings, shall we say, is new?
I heard that a quite wonderful carnival came to town recently. That's got the whole town abuzz, at least my clientele. It's been a pretty good, all things considered, pretty good lately. We got the news about the Empire Rail Spur going to be built not too far away, and with the stage office that we're building up here in town, should be plenty of business getting the rail passengers off the spur out past us to wherever they want to go. Of course, not before we get a few of their coins on the way. So folks are prosperous here, and everyone's doing pretty well. We're very, very thankful for that spur that's getting put in, and for the business that it's already bringing.
When did that news come down?
Let's see. That must have been a few months ago now that they made the announcement and construction started. And they're halfway to finish now, but all the workers and whatnot we've had coming in been bringing a lot of money into town. So folks are feeling pretty good right now. Pretty good.
Yeah. So you say like 6 months ago, maybe?
I don't know necessarily. I can't say as it would be 6 exactly on the dot. You seem to have flustered him a little bit with your specific question. But several months ago, perhaps, maybe it could have been 6, could have been 5, or maybe even, how the days do pass as you get older in years like myself.
It can be hard to remember exact dates and time spans, and as time goes, your perception of time, it it switches by how you are feeling, how good things have been or bad, or like that. Yes.
Well, we heard tell that there's been some interesting things happen here in this town, especially about 6 months ago. But we were just curious, we need entertainment too. What that might have been.
Well, there's the rail spur, and that's news. Folks here like to keep themselves to themselves. Don't get us wrong, we're a friendly town, but folks, they keep themselves to themselves. So I don't know that I know exactly what it is that you're asking about. But even if I did know what it was you were asking about, well, it's hard for me to say whether or not there's any kind of easy answer to that, miss. And I ain't one to gossip or spread rumors or nothing like. So
breathe. Take breath. It's okay. We just heard tell and thought we'd ask.
What's your name, fella?
What's up?
Mark.
What?
Would you say, Victor?
I said, what's your name, fella?
Mark Crandall, proprietor of the Half Moon Saloon, the establishment you're in now. How's that whiskey treating you?
It's treating me fine.
Oh, great. We do pride ourselves on our quality offerings. You all get the impression that it's going to take a little finagling to get any more information out of Mark.
Mark.
Mark, with a T.
Mark.
Only my stepfather called me Mark, and I hated it.
See, that's what I thought, but then the captions kind of said Mark, and I thought maybe I was mishearing it.
Oh, them little floating words would follow me around everywhere I go. No,
yeah, they're right below all of us.
Much. Yeah, they're accurate about 75% of the time.
Gotcha. Right. Well, Mart, we are storytellers at our core. We live to tell stories for our guests, and so we're always out for something new, some story to tell and share. And I would be much obliged if you could share your story about what happened here. It sounds like it was a mighty interesting tale, to say the least.
I mean, they're storytellers. I'm more about ending stories, if you know what I mean.
Like you're the one what says the end and closes the book?
Closes the book. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
Saying what?
Oh, he likes to shoot things, is what he's saying.
All the things that need to be shot.
Well, ain't a lot of folks in town would take too kindly to being shot at, so I can't say as I'd recommend that here.
Oh no, and you should come to the Carnival. That's where he shoots the things. He's our trick shot. He's a damn good one too. I recommend you see it.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're getting at. Sorry, Mr. Victor. Victor, sorry. You had such a flinty look in your eye. I assumed you were threatening violence of some kind, but my mistake.
His presence makes people assume that. Right, Victor?
Well,
would people think? Why? I
don't know where they get it from, honestly.
Yeah,
absurd, ridiculous, really.
Ridiculous, exactly. That's the word I was thinking.
I mean, we could tell you stories about us, and things that would curl your toes at night, and bring that hair. You said that all of his hair is just a shock of white, or he has one shock of white?
He just has one shock of white hair, and that's pretty much all that is left on his head.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
stories that would drop all the hair out of that head of yours, but we have time right now before we have to get back to the carnival. We would greatly appreciate, and I'll take out a coin, and a dollar coin, and put it up on the table. We'd greatly appreciate hearing one more tale.
A dollar coin?
Yeah.
All right, Buzz. Give me a persuasion roll, and you just sweeten the pie. Let's add a +1 to it for throwing in a whole dollar.
Okay. fell out. +1,
Yes.
you said? That's a
Yes.
4.
A 4, which is a success.
Is this opposed?
Yeah, this one's going to be opposed.
Okay, then I would like to use a curious ticket, please.
Curious ticket, indeed. Spent.
You have that card too.
That's true. That's true, actually. I'll use a curious ticket as
Okay.
well, but I will add a d6 to this.
You're going to add a d6 to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
So you are going to spend your extra effort card, add a d6, which can also ace. Keep in mind.
Ooh, okay, I got 1 ace, so 11 right now. Or, sorry, 12 right now.
12. Okay.
That's 16.
A 16.
Wow, nice.
A 16. All right. All right. That is a success with 3 raises, Buster. That is very well said. So you kind of just ease your way into the conversation, talking about stories and storytelling, swapping stories, kind of trying to evoke that old campfire camaraderie of strangers meeting in the frontier and sharing tales. And you bolster that somewhat by sliding a nice shiny dollar coin across the bar, and Mart looks down at the coin and looks up at you and kind of darts his eyes around the mostly empty saloon, and he reaches out onto the table and just palms the coin into a pocket, and then leans forward and motions for all of you to lean in. Now, listen, folks here in Nouveau Départ don't like much having their business spread around. All right, we keep things close to the vest here, especially with outsiders. But you coming in asking so specific, like about 6 months ago, and you heard tell of what befell our town.
Oh, well, we didn't hear what it was, just that maybe something interesting.
Well, we're a good place. We good folks here, but we're out on the beginning of the frontier, and it's a big old world out there. And, over the years, from time to time, we've had people go missing, but about 6 months ago, and don't go telling anyone that Mark told you this if anyone's asking.
Never would.
About 6 months ago, a little bit of a tragedy befell our town. One day, all at once, out of nowhere, about 7 kids just up and vanished. Left no trail, left no trace. Marshall looked around, did what he couldn't find anything. They just up and vanished. All 7 of them, same time, same day. Never heard no word since then. And that's something that stays with a place. But then things started to turn around, and the new spur came down, and money started to come in, and folks are feeling good again. Some of those families that done lost their little ones, they up and left. Some stayed, but you deal with tragedies and you move on as best you can out here in the West. It's a different world out here, and
Yes.
well, so you understand why folks might not be too keen to talk about events like that. So
Well, yes, this makes sense. I wonder, did these children that went missing talk about seeing strange faces outside windows or anything like that sort? I've heard something like that happen in other towns.
he gives you a really weird look when you say that, Celestina. No, can't
No.
say as I heard anything about that.
Well, that's good then, because bad things.
Yeah.
So, I know it just happened earlier in the thing, but
Yes.
can you remind me what Penelope said? What was his secret? Like, She said that she knew a secret about him that he
She
had.
said she saw him pull something all covered up into the back of the saloon, looking around like he didn't want anyone to see.
Okay, right. Great. Thank you.
Well, that is quite a story. I thank you for telling us. You know, it's sometimes it's rough coming into a town and not really knowing the history, and we don't want to upset anybody with things. And as you know, children like to come in and enjoy the things that we have to offer. And if people are hurt by that, we just want to be clear about it. So I appreciate you telling us.
I understand entirely, and I hope you realize ain't no ill will meant. It's just a sore spot in the community. Obviously, as you can understand, a tragedy as recent and as terrible as something like that. So better you hear it from me, old Mart, than stepping your foot in it when you ain't expected to, and causing ladies to faint or men to shout and holler or get yourselves into all kinds of trouble otherwise.
Mart. Are any of the families who lost a child? Are any of them still here?
Yeah, I think so. I reckon a couple are. There's Clayton Souls. He lost his little boy. He's still hereabouts. And
do you know where we could find him?
Oh well, most times he's working over at the stables, and that's where he earns his keep.
Clayton Souls. Okay.
Well, it's been most enlightening, Mart. I appreciate your time.
Yes, of course.
I would be remiss if I did not point out that our, the owner of Nightlinger's Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary, Mr. Jebediah Nightlinger, is a fan of the odd and obscure. And if you know of anything that might be considered such, or something you think you might just want to get off your hands or something like that, we may be of interest, and we pay good coin for such a thing, especially if it will draw a crowd. So if you think of anything in your head, just let your old pal Buzz know.
What are you even going on about?
Well, Mart, if you feel like you can't tell us a secret, you could always tell this.
Just come on.
No, sorry.
Mark's child.
Yeah, well, hey, if you want one, I'm sure we could cook one up for you. But no, I'm just throwing it out there. Sometimes people have old family heirlooms or something, like a piece of dung that got hardened and petrified in the shape of the Virgin Mary, stuff like that.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see how, in a place where a lot of people were passing through, having some sort of curiosity for folks to pay money to take a gander at could be a useful, but I mean, Carnival, you got all that, and
okay.
nobody around
Mart?
here even is.
Mart, calm down.
What?
You seem to have gotten very nervous suddenly.
No, this is how I am normally. Ask anybody. Hey, Edna.
Mart,
Edna,
yeah.
Wake up. Am I like this normally?
Mart, yeah,
I hand Mart my glass of whiskey real quick that I'm holding.
And he just takes it from you and downs it in one shot and just winces and puts it down on the counter. Thank you.
Mart,
Of course.
Buzz will scoot in and just, Mart, now, we have shared so much here. If you have something that might be of interest to us, I could make it well worth your while.
He just stares at you for a moment, and you just see the gears turning in his eyes, Buster. And he just kind of blurts out, "It's $5 to see it."
$5. Well,
To see what?
I don't even know what it is. I don't know why I should pay you $5 to see something that might not even interest me.
Well, I mean, you were asking about it is a strange and interesting creature that I caught in this area and have put on display to show off to the world as they come trotting through this place with money to burn in their pockets.
Are you willing to sell?
Well, I don't know. I stand to make a fair amount of money on this as it is, because people are going to come from far and wide and everywhere to see what it is that I have, and
At that, I look around.
How will they do this thing if they don't know about it?
well, it ain't ready yet. I'm going to put up a placard and a signpost, and I see you looking about all judgmental like, but it's early morning in a saloon, and we ain't got that rail spur completed yet. So once folks get coming through here, they're going to be forking over fistfuls of money to step into the back room and see the
Buzz,
curiosity.
Yes, Midas.
it's a lot, but we can spare $5. If this is something good, this will get us brownie points that we desperately need with Nightlinger right now.
This is over $100 in modern times, by the way.
I don't think that Midas needs anything that bad. I mean, he was talking about bringing in a creature. He wanted to have something. Is it alive?
Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out.
Well, I'm not paying for a dead creature, but I could take a look at it, I suppose.
Oh, listen, you can't carnival folk. It not work that way.
I ain't carnivaling you, all right? It's $5 for all of you to see it. That's a steal. All right, it ain't $5 each, okay? I ain't trying to rob you.
Okay, I said this. I like your $5, but if it's not interesting to us, then you have to deal with the repercussions of that. Yes? This?
What? I don't know right exactly what it is I'm signing up for, but
No.
Well, there's always the counter offer of $3 and no repercussions. And Midas kind of looks around at everyone else like,
Midas, give me a persuasion roll.
I said 2. 2.
okay, persuasion at a -1. That's a 4.
Okay, you want to keep it? It will be opposed.
Oh, then I'll use a curious ticket, please.
Okay, a curious ticket.
Well, that's a 3. So I'll use 1 Benny, because I've got 3.
Okay, 1 Benny.
I did good that time. So that's a 10.
10. All right. I got a 1. I'm going to spend a curious ticket to re-roll that. And that time I got a 5. This is pretty much exactly what happened last time I tried to roll opposed to one of you. So he looks back and forth nervously between all of you, and his gaze lingers for just slightly longer on Victor, who just, I'm guessing, is staring at him impassively at the bar, and then he licks his lips and says, all right, 3 and no repercussions.
All right, you've got yourself a deal.
All right. Put the money on the counter, then very slowly, get up and nonchalantly walk behind the counter and into this back room after me, but not too closely after me, so as it doesn't appear as though I am leading you back there for any specific purpose.
Victor's gonna start walking back there as soon as he starts talking.
No, wait, hold on. I gotta do it right. He comes jogging up behind you and sort of jostles his way past you so he can get in front of you. Hold on. I gotta pull the curtain off. Oh, come on, into the back room.
Midas tries to look nonchalant, but does not.
How does Midas look?
Midas gets up and goes, I've enjoyed my drink a little too loudly, and puts it down. Come, Christopher.
All right, okay.
Let's leave.
he pulls you all into a dark room behind the saloon proper, down a little dusty hallway, on the sides of which are stacked boxes containing various goods and bottles, and sort of pulls you through this dusty, dark hallway to an old, creaky-looking door at the end of the hallway. It's right through here. Let me just get the key. And he fumbles for a ring of keys at his waist and goes through them one by one until he finds the one for the door and slots it in and clicks and then shoves the door creakily inward into darkness. All right, it's right in here. Come on in. I'll get the lamp going. It's dark back here. Sorry, ain't got windows in the storage area.
Mm-hmm.
And he disappears into the darkness of the room.
You see anything, Midas?
You're flipping your lenses
down. Yeah.
Give me a notice roll. It's only fair if you give me a notice roll so that you can potentially crit fail.
You're exactly correct. But I didn't. I aced on the 6.
That's good. That's the opposite of a crit fail.
A 7.
A 7. You flip down your lenses and immediately the gloom is dispersed and turned into black and white clarity. You see what looks like a bunch of junk and some chairs that have been sort of haphazardly arranged. And you see Mark kind of moving his way through the chairs and sort of steadying them as he moves back further into the room and out of sight. Well, come on. Don't keep us waiting.
It seems fine as far as I can tell.
Okay, why don't you go in? You all go in first. I'll come up behind everyone just to make sure no one pops out of the hallway. Yes?
Sure. All right. Lead the way, Midas.
Where's that lamp, Mart?
I'll go in.
So you walk in, and as you walk in, and as you say that, Victor, you hear the whoosh of a lantern just sort of lighting inside the room as a warm, like just subdued glow from the lantern banishes the shadows and keeps things waving back and forth in a moody illumination. There it is. Come on in, all quiet like, and take a seat in one of these here chairs.
All right.
So you sit in the chairs and find yourselves arrayed sort of very cramped and shoulder to shoulder, facing what looks like a large rectangle with a heavy black cloth over it. And Mart is standing next to it, nervously looking between it and you all. All right.
Get on with it.
Now what you're about to see ain't nobody else seen. I've been talking for a long time about what lurks in the Kaw River nearby. Fearsome creature with claws and big gnashing teeth can move through the water all quick and quiet like. Before you know it, it's leapt up out of the water and latched onto your face with its teeth while its sharp claws tear out your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you all to feast your eyes on a perfectly preserved, never before seen Grimble cork. And he pulls the curtain off of the display case, revealing a glass case within which stands a creature that looks a bit kind of like maybe like a salmon with some dentures of some kind attached to its face and what looks like 2 taxidermy chicken legs just sort of shoved into the tail end of the fish, and all of it standing up in the case on wire, smiling at you as he removes the curtain.
Buzz stifles a laugh.
I don't know if I like the deal we made anymore. I missed the repercussions part.
Well, I didn't know your associate said there would be no repercussions, but come on, look at you ain't never seen a Grimble cork preserved as well as this one.
This is bunk.
It ain't bunk. They's real.
Can I use a science roll to see if a Grimble pork is real?
Sure, make a science roll. And
Grimble
it's a Grimble
cork.
cork. At least get it
Grimble
right.
cork.
Grimble cork. A Grimble cork, yes. I'd hate to say the wrong name for the made-up amalgamation animal this guy came up with. All right. Can I get a curious ticket? I got a 2 on that.
A curious ticket to re-roll your science roll, just to be sure.
Right.
This is just like our trip to Tombstone.
That's exactly that's what I was thinking of. Oh, okay. Just out of professional pride, I'm going to use a Benny on this.
All right,
Yes.
you have 1 remaining by my count.
I
Crit
know.
fail, and you make us think it's real.
I got a 4.
It would be wonderful.
No, a crit fail. I'm like, it's definitely true.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is the Grimblecore.
Well, okay.
Take it back.
You
to
got
No, I got a
4,
4.
which is a success. Midas, as far as you are aware, a Grimblecork is not a creature recognized by modern scientific circles.
A Grimblecork is not a creature that is recognized by modern scientific circles.
Well, of course it ain't gonna be recognized by modern scientific circles, and scientists don't want you to know about the things that lurk out in the waters.
All right. Well, we are done here. Where?
Well, but you mentioned maybe having an interest in purchasing a curiosity, and
I got
I
an interest
will-
in kicking your ass, Mart.
I
there's
will
supposed to be
bring
no
this-
repercussions.
Victor, we did say no repercussions, and I mean, we do have, you know, that the cabinet sometimes has things that are of this variety in it.
I tell you what, Mark.
Terrifying.
We will bring this up to Mr. Nightlinger, and perhaps he will be interested in purchasing what you have here. Tell me, when did you get this Grimble
Cork.
cork?
I found it, washed up on the shores of the Caw, just a couple nights hence. Just flapping about, gasping for air. I waited till the fearsome creature was dead, and then I grabbed it in a burlap sack and brought it back here.
That's when you added the wire, right?
We had to get it to stand up like it would in life, were it to venture out of water and walk on land.
Right, and 8 legs and teeth.
And
It doesn't have
you
8
say,
legs.
You say it was gasping for breath on land, correct?
Well, that's what it appeared to be doing. It was dark, so I can't say for sure.
So its legs are for what?
Its legs are for tearing out your eyeballs once it latches onto your face with its teeth.
Okay,
Why are we
now,
humoring this? Midas, what are we doing here?
I already explained this.
All right.
Yes, this does not seem like the thing we're focused on for this town, yes?
Well, you tell your boss or whatnot. I couldn't let it go for less than 150.
Holy sh!
Okay. Now, look. I know that I'm not normally one of the Carnival who does salesmanship of that sort of thing, but we have to at least give him some advice on how to sell this thing, right? If he's going to try and make money off of it, I mean, we've done things that are simpler, that are worse, right? You just he needs to improve his patter.
Midas!
You know
We
what?
guys-
I'm right here in front of you, okay? And I know I ain't a performer like the rest of you Carnival folks, all right? But I got myself a genuine article here. It's a good thing, and I don't need no advice on how to sell it. I opened up my establishment and my heart to you all, and you're right spitting on it right now. So I think maybe if it's all the same to you, get up out them chairs and just get on out of this room. You know, this ain't for people that don't appreciate the more mysterious aspects of life.
All right, you know what? He has point.
Yep.
It's fine. You sell your thing. Just, yeah, maybe work on the mysterious part and the, like, truth and lie part. And maybe the cost part.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe you folks should go.
Yes.
Yep,
Gladly,
you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, yeah, and he kind of just like ushers you all out of the room sulkily and locks it up behind him, and then shoos you all out into the saloon proper.
As we start to go out, Midas will turn around and go, Mart. Now, I think it's a very neat creature that you have there. Just work on your story. Make sure that it makes sense, and that will make it work better.
Yeah, I done told you the story, all right? Now you get on out and tell your boss I couldn't let it go for less than 125.
Yes.
We leave.
Have a good day, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Well, we will anyway.
Seem hurt as you walk back out into Nouveau Départ, leaving the Half Moon Saloon behind you.
Oh, he tried.
Everyone, I feel bad about Mart. I'm going to be honest. I feel like we ruined his day.
Boy, man,
We
we
just
need
gave
this
him-
from Martin is garbage.
We just
Here to
gave
do a
him
job.
$4. That man, we just gave that man more money than he's had probably in months.
We gave him
He's
$3.
fine. I gave him $1 to tell us the story of what happened to.
Well, okay,
children.
That's correct. I guess we did give him $4.
That's lots of
Yeah.
money.
Keith
Yeah.
should be
Jeans
happy.
would like to give 2 curious tickets to me, the ringmaster. Thank you
Oh.
very much for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's, I guess, try to get some more information from the family. This is going to be delicate, though. We're going to want to be pretty careful if we're going to try and get to the bottom of this. But yeah, I don't know. This is the best I can think of, unless there's some other newspaper or something out here that might have a little bit more information. But
Well, if anyone heard anything else about people looking through the window of children, then it would be the families of the people who lost the children.
I wonder if we could ask that little girl, what's her name, Penelope, if any of the other children in town who are currently here have mentioned also seeing face at window.
Might be
Then-
worth asking.
Right, and in that way, maybe we could avoid talking to said parents if need be, since that's sensitive subject.
I mean, I'd rather talk to the folks instead of the kids, because kids say all sorts of shit. But
Oh, well, yes, but I'm thinking maybe we talk to parents who still have kids. Less upset. Or maybe more upset in other way. I don't know. Eat thought.
all right,
yeah, I guess.
let's.
We could do both.
Well, it's a good idea. Let's. We could ask Penelope if any of her friends also saw this strange face-making person at their windows, and maybe if she if remembers any of those, if any of those friends were taken that night. Try not to
Yes.
upset her, I suppose, and then if she gives us an affirmative, we can then talk to one of the other families to get maybe a little bit more details. But like I said, this is going to be delicate.
Well, let me ask you this. Where were we 6 months ago?
Oh, 6 months ago. I don't know. Would we have any ability to piece that together?
I mean, 6 months ago, you folks were still in Kansas, just kind of the far eastern edge of it. You were coming out of, let's see, 6 months ago. It's spring, so that was the middle of winter. So you would have been wherever you guys decided to put up stakes for the winter season, and hunker down and ride it out until the traveling season came back up again. So
But so we weren't around here, though? Would we know that?
you were in Kansas, but you weren't around. This is more northwestern Kansas, and you guys were eastern southeastern for winter time. You've been slowly winding your way through the towns and settlements in Kansas.
I'm just saying, if we weren't around here, that means Nightlinger wasn't around here, right? What's this got to do with Nightlinger?
Oh, I don't.
Well,
Maybe nothing.
I mean, nabbing kids is real sad, yeah, but what's it got to do with us? What's it got to do with the carnival?
It has to do with the fact that the Texas Rangers think that Nightlinger is involved, and we have to find out what happened so that we can get back in his good graces.
Well, why don't
We
we just
have
go
to-
ask them?
We could. We might. I don't know. Somehow make things worse. Maybe not. We could go talk to them. Sounds like it could be fun. One of them is very cute.
Yeah.
Two of them were, I mean, never.
Oh, yes, even better then. A big group.
Okay, well, let's keep our hormones in check, and first of all, just ask the locals, and then we can talk to the constabulary. I don't recommend talking to rangers, especially more than one ranger. just asking for trouble when they're already out for Nightlinger. We just have to clear his name somehow.
I have to agree. I think the more information that we can bring into the conversation, the better position we'll be in.
Yeah, but ain't gonna look odd if we're walking around town asking people lots of questions. Ain't they gonna start looking for us then?
Well, we're
We
going to
already
be
look
out of
odd.
town after tomorrow.
All these things true. I say we just try to say it's a carnival thing. We're always looking for new stories, like we said already. Maybe we can fool some
It's
folks.
a carnival thing that we're talking to kids in the middle of the street.
Yes,
Well, kids are our
bring
kind of-
money.
They're kind of our
Now-
prime
I
audience member.
don't mean to be overly sentimental about any of this either, but if there is someone who is capturing children in this town and seems to still be active, then I think that it's our responsibility to try and find out what it is and stop it.
Well, listen, I think all these ideas, good ones, I say we just pick one, start there, yes? Yeah, it seemed like we wanted to maybe try and talk to a family that lost child. We start
Yes.
there.
What was the name that Mart gave us? It was Cole?
It was
Something
Clayton. Clayton
Clayton
Souls.
Souls.
Soul.
Souls.
Well, if we-
All
if
right,
we
well,
find
let's
this
talk
Clayton,
to this. Yeah.
He probably
Yes.
knows more about what's going on than most others.
Sure. Yeah, and we figure it out, and then we can go, and we do our carnival tonight, and we are out of here.
Yes. This sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so the plan is to go and talk to Clayton Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and you were told where to find him as well, over at the stables and livery.
Yep.
Livery.
I
Livery.
think it's livery, right?
It's real livery in there, but it's also a stable. That's where you were told you could find him.
Having properties of liver.
So do you want to head over that way? Only one main street. It's not too hard to find the stables. It's at the southern end of town.
Yes.
And you walk over there, and you hear the sound of creatures mulling about, horses snorting and whinnying, and what sounds like some shoveling or raking of some kind coming out from inside.
Sure. Let's go check it out.
As you walk in, you see a middle-aged gentleman with sort of fading reddish hair, just mucking out the stables, and he looks up as you four walk in. Afternoon, can I help you?
Hi. Sorry to come in on you. Are you Clayton Souls?
Why, yes, he says, just propping up the muck rake and leaning against it. That's me. Who's asking?
Name's Buster Callahan. You can call me Buzz. Just,
right.
you rent out these animals here?
I do. I can. Some of them, at least. Some of them I board and care for folks here in town.
Well, that's mighty nice. Good stock you have here.
Good, honest work. I enjoy being around the animal.
I can imagine.
Yes.
You looking to hire out some horses, or?
Maybe. Listen, I don't want to put too fine a point to it, but we're with the local. Did our friends the Rangers come and talk to you?
When you say that, his eyes go hard, and he says, "Oh, they're friends of yours, is they? Well, perhaps then we've said all we need to say to one another."
Friends in a colloquial sense. I wouldn't say we're any more closer to them than we are to you, but we have a shared interest, as it were, and they're not in the sharing type.
Well,
And
I
I'd
can
like-
say I don't share that interest in talking, all right? And I spoke to them last night. I told them everything I know. I don't know why you people continue to come by and bedevil me like this. It ain't like anyone in town is all that excited to see your ranger friends running about.
No, I can't imagine you'd want 3 rangers in this town, especially with the new spur coming into town. You're going to be picking up. You're going to have a lot of customers in here. I can imagine that.
Don't try and sweet talk to me when you come in here asking questions like that. Now, you get to whatever it is, the point that you got to make, and get to it like a man.
Oh.
All right. Tell us what happened 6 months ago.
He just kind of stands back and straightens up his back a little bit to his full height and looks at you, Buster. Why don't you tell me why in the hell I should tell any of you strangers anything else? Least of all, something that's so painful for me to talk about.
I understand. And Buster is going to... I don't have the words for this, but Buster is going to try to be as comforting and understanding as possible. He's going to slowly move forward, almost like he's like trying to calm down a horse that's
spooked
going.
Animal.
Yeah, and he's just going to just move slowly, arms up, and just be like, I understand what you have gone through has been horrible, and we have heard some stories around here. We are just trying to get to the bottom of it.
Give me a persuasion roll, Buster. Is anyone else going to support this, by the way?
Yeah, I was gonna say that we're afraid that it could happen again, whatever it is, so we want to try to stop it if possible.
I was going to say the same thing, but probably anything anyone else does with persuasion will be more effective than what I do.
Okay. So go ahead and make a roll for that. What skill are you rolling?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
That's what I assume. 4.
4. Okay, that is a success. That's gonna be a +1 to your roll there, Buster.
Okay.
So go ahead and make that roll. It will be opposed.
Okay. Aced it.
Yes.
Good
Aced
start.
it. 18.
18 is a success with 3 raises and a little extra just for good measure. So let's see. I'll roll against that. Why not? Now that's a 2, so let's go ahead and spend a curious ticket to re-roll that. That's also a 2. You know what? I got a Benny. I'll just spend one of those here. That's a 1. Okay, it ain't happening, folks. He is initially resistant to your advance, but as you just kind of don't take up too much of his space and try to give him a clear idea of your kind and calm intentions, he does kind of seem to relax a little bit. But just tell me, you're not with the Rangers, is that right?
No,
Hell no.
we are not with the Rangers. Those fools couldn't get their heads out of their asses if they had help.
You know, Nouveau Départ, I ain't no friend of the Rangers either.
Really?
Well, you know, folks come here from all over. You know, and you all speak French. You know what the town's name means?
Yeah, it's new beginnings, right?
Fresh start, new beginning. Folks come here, they got a past, trying to make a new life for themselves. That's what me and my boy were hoping to do after losing his mother. Came out here, not with the original founders of the town. You know, who ain't been here 15 years or more. No, just more recent. And he's gone. My little Jacob is gone. He's gone. Them other kids is gone as well. They all just up and vanished. That same time, same day, and we all know here in town. We tried to tell the marshal. We tried to get him to do what needed to be done, We know who's responsible, but he dragged his feet, said he couldn't find no evidence, no proof, and that wasn't enough to do what it was needed to be done. We should have taken matters into our own hands that day. We should have done it.
Who was responsible?
There's a big hill outside of town. You might have seen it just past the rowan tree, all flowering white. The edge of town, big old hill. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Up on top of that hill. Long as any folks can remember. Some old Kaw Indian man just stays up there, ain't got no house, ain't got no nothing, just stays up there and watches us. Watches the town. All creepy like. Don't talk to nobody, don't interact with nobody, just watches us, and we all know he had something to do with them kids going missing, with mine, with my Jacob's disappearance. But well,
Did Jacob ever say anything about someone showing up at his window before he was taken away?
Making faces. Did he say anything about someone making faces through his window? Funny faces, anything like that?
no. Why would you? Why? Why do you laugh?
Because
We heard a story from one of the other children, Penelope, who
Story about what? You folks know something about what happened?
we don't
What
know
happened to my
much.
boy and the
we're
others?
trying to piece things together.
We've only been here a day. We just... If there is something going on, then...
Listen. He gets right up in your face, Midas, and just grabs your shirt by the collar. Listen, if you have any information about what happened to my boy, you tell me now.
I don't have anything. If I did, I would tell you. Look, I'm a terrible liar. Look, does it seem like I would be lying to you? I promise to you, if I knew anything, I would let you know.
As you are having this tense standoff with him, all at once from outside, all four of you hear a scream. A woman screaming bloody murder outside of the stable on the main street. And Clayton just releases you, Midas, and looks concerned and ducks his head out front. As the screaming continues, you hear what sounds like a woman shouting a name over and over again out in the middle of the street.
I'll run out there.
I'll
You
go
run
too.
out there. You all run. Do you all run out?
Yeah.
You all run out into the street and look around for the source of the noise. Down at the farther end of the street, about halfway between the marshal's office and the end of the town, there is a woman just on her knees in the middle of the street, sobbing and crying and holding a jump rope in her hands. And around her are three figures arrayed in a semicircle, and she is screaming and crying, "Penelope! Penelope! Where's Penelope?" And as you all run out of the stables and into the street, the woman with flaming red hair and a red hat to match turns around and spots all of you, and she just stares you down from down the street and says, "Where is the girl?" And from behind her, the tall, handsome gentleman pulls a shotgun off of his back, and the small, spiky-haired blonde woman, her shoulders, so huge underneath her coat, begin to move and snake their bulk down her arms until two metallic things come out of her arms and jam around her fists. And as she stands and stares at you from down the street, the woman in the red hat flings her duster aside and displays her territorial ranger badge. I am only gonna ask you one more time. Where is the girl? And that is where we will end things tonight, folks.
Oh, good.
Oh
Great.
boy.
It ain't exactly looking good for our posse of performers here in the town of Nouveau Départ, and it does seem there are some sinister goings on somewhere in this town of fresh beginnings. But what will happen with the triune of territorial rangers and our hapless carnival performers? To find out, you'll have to join us next week. Next Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time here on twitch.tv/savingthrow show for more wild cards. But first, let's check in here and make sure that, Owen Lean, I see just now that you sent a curious ticket to me, and I very much appreciate it. But since I missed it during the actual gameplay, I will make sure I set it aside for the beginning of next week. So thank you very much for that, Owen Lean. It does not look like there are any more toasts for us tonight. So, folks, I will say a very big welcome. A very big thank you to all of you mysterious strangers in chat who have joined us tonight. Thank you very, very much for your tips and your subs and just your presence. We do appreciate you being here, and we know times are tight. We don't expect anyone or everyone, or definitely not everyone, but even anyone to tip if you don't feel that you can right now, or you simply don't want to. That's totally fine. We are just happy to have you here, but if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoy what we do, please do spread the word about the show. We'd love to have more fine folks coming in and populating our chat. It's a great group of people hanging out here each Friday night, and we'd love to see more people in it. So do spread the word about the show on social media. You can tag at WildcardsRPG on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Use the hashtag WildcardsRPG when you're talking about the show. You can also follow our Saving Throw accounts at Saving Throw Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well to stay up to date with all of the news here on the channel. But before we go, I believe we do have a couple of fun announcements really quickly from some of our crew. So let's start off. I know Gaurav has some exciting news.
I've got some exciting news. Tomorrow at noon Pacific time, PST, over at twitch.tv/D&D, you can catch myself along with Jody Hauser, Liam O'Brien, Carlos Luna, Chris Perkins, Abria Iyengar, and we're going to be playing a D&D 5th edition game ran by Brennan Lee Mulligan for D&D Celebration 2020. It's 3 hours long, and we're going to be part of the massive D&D epic game running a scenario called The Great Knucklehead Rally, which is part of the new book, Rime of the Frost Maiden, that just came out. So tune in tomorrow at noon to catch that. I'm playing a barbarian of the Wild Soul. I think it was, maybe that's probably not the right name, but basically every time the barbarian rages, a wild magic table thing happens, and it's crazy and really cool, apparently. I'm very excited.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
That sounds
that
cool.
definitely does sound fun, and a great group of players as well. So
Yeah.
definitely check that out, folks, if you're into D&D 5e or just fun role-playing. It sounds like it should be a great event. And what do we have coming up next on the channel, Dom?
We have the series finale of Pirates of Salt Bay coming up this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11
that's a
p.m.
big
Eastern
show.
time. Yes, that is going to be a big one. They left
Really
on a
big
big
show.
cliffhanger just like this one. And we'll see. They are level 19, so it's going to be. But they are fighting massive titans in Waterdeep. So let's see. We're going to see what happens, among other things. So, yeah, it's going to be quite a banger of an episode. So I hope you all can tune in for that.
All right. That sounds like a lot of fun. And like I said, stay tuned to our social media accounts for news on what is coming up down the pipeline. Also, folks, I should announce at this point that you all are going to get to take an advance in between now and next session. We'll call it the inspiration of desperation, as it looks like you may be heading for a rumble with the Rangers on the streets of Nouveau Départ, and that is not any kind of fight that I would enter into lightly. So congratulations on your advancement. Hopefully it's not short-lived. Curious strangers in chat, you unlocked a fair amount for these folks tonight. That little bit of healing unguent, or unguent, as Doc Coinkydink calls it, might just come in handy next week, but you'll have to tune in to find out. So we hope you mysterious strangers will join us again on a ride through the weird and shadowy places of the West as the Carnival maybe ends its route here in Nouveau Départ before it has even begun. I guess we'll see. But until then, we will leave you to your rest. We'll leave you to your safety, we will leave you to please check your voter registration. Make sure you're registered to vote in the state you're in. Make sure you have a plan to vote now so it doesn't sneak up on you, folks. This one might be chaotic. It sounds like, there's a pandemic around. So make sure you are set up for that. Get your voice
Good
heard.
timing on the sneeze
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bless you for sneezing.
for the pandemic.
And finger guns! Sideways finger guns coming at you sideways.